Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning and happy Saturday. Good morning, Mickey Jordan.
You had to put my whole name on. Good morning.
Oh, dang, I did, didn't I? Well, and that's funny because I don't know how I got to where people call me my first name and last name. Hey, Tonya Burns. I'm like, why y'all be putting all that together? Don't put it
Right.
together. I don't know, Mickey. I don't, that's just a thing, I guess. If everybody call me Tonya Burns, okay, Mickey J.
No doubt.
No doubt. So, Mickey, how are you this cold Saturday morning?
Actually, I'm all right. It's all right this morning.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. And how is Mickey? How is Nikki?
She doing all right. Getting on
Good
my
morning.
nerves, so she good now.
How's she doing her job
Yeah,
then?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
She's
yeah.
doing her job. So to everyone who is on, good morning. Good morning, 810 Facebook. If you are on YouTube side or if you are on the Facebook side, it's gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. So listen, I need y'all to click, like, share, and subscribe. And Mickey, put that scroll up. You know,
So
we
it is.
put that scroll up. And we need, I don't get no salary. We just need to help keep the lights on, the equipment, so that we can bring to you things that are about our culture, about our life, about Flint. When we talk about a variety of things, so I need you to click, like, share, and subscribe. And then also, if you can donate, I don't know how many people on the YouTube side, how many people on the Facebook side. I never have my stuff up. So if you could donate at least $5 to $ 810 News Media Group, 810 what Cash App, 810 News Media Group. Help us to stay on. Help us to stay on. So you can donate at least $5. Mickey,
Yes, ma'am.
it's been a lot going on this week. It's been a lot. It's been a lot. Everybody been tuned into let's back it up. Well, the national news, well, let's say with the Trump trials, he was charged with 355 million. President Trump was yesterday. We also had Fonnie Williams' dad, who was on in Fonnie Williams, where they tried to make the case about her consensual relationship with another grown man, that was the issue instead of them trying to steal the election. We also have how Fonnie rode in like a boss, and like, look, I was pacing, I was ready, okay, I was ready. Don't get cute with me. She was checking folks. Yeah, we had that. We had Flint City Council. We had, and I've been silent about one of the pastors who said I didn't look at him eye to eye. First of all, I'm 5'4", so I can't look at you eye to eye. Second of all, I spoke to him first, but we're gonna get into that. I mean, he lied. He flat out lied. He lied. He lied because I spoke to him first. I don't have no problem addressing anyone eye to eye in speaking, because that's what I try to make sure people understand me when I'm talking to them. And I'm a very one-on-one person. So he lied on me. And shame on him for saying I did not speak to him. Christopher Martin, I'm not referring to him in his official capacity because he tried to be smart. I made my vote on Wednesday as in my elected seat, not in my, like me and him are friends. I'm not friends with him. I take my decisions very seriously when I vote for something, and I weigh things, even appointing, and it was to appoint him to a board. He stated that I did not look him in the eye. Christopher Martin, you're lying. I spoke to you. And I was shopping in the ladies' dress department at Macy's, and so were you. I spoke to you. I didn't have an at-length conversation because I don't know you. I don't know you. I simply don't. So he lied. Christopher Martin lied. I spoke to him. I was shopping in the ladies' dress department at Macy's, and he was shopping in the ladies' dress, not walking through. He was shopping. I don't know if he was shopping for whomever, his wife, whoever. I don't know. And it wasn't a disrespectful thing. I spoke, and he spoke back. and I continued to shop. That was just the way it, that's just how it happened. For him to say that, I found that to be rather odd for him to mention. And this was over a year ago. This was over a year ago. So for that to be such a memorable moment for me, because I honestly forgot about it. But clearly he wants to call that as if it had some type of relevance, and it does not. My vote, however, when it came to that board, for me, I take it very serious for that recording. I take it very serious. It's not, he has a right to his religious views, Mickey. I just don't happen to agree with them. But I do know that for that board, that it serves the entire community. And our entire community is comprised of every single race, every single faith, every single nationality. And for someone to have those stronger views, in my opinion, and in my choice, and my one little vote, I did not feel that he could be impartial because he's already shown that he's biased. So I'm just tripping off of that. He actually, Mickey, he made a whole video. Did you see the video?
Yeah, I watched it.
I was like, man, are you in your feelings for 17 minutes and 48 seconds? Why are you in your feelings? Number one, your own church member, Liddell Lewis, who sits on the Flint City Council, who is the president of the Flint City Council, voted no. She voted no.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. You said she voted no?
She voted no. His church member that he ministers to, that he's a mentor, she gives him guide. He stood with her on that monkey comment. He stood with her on a lie, and she couldn't stand with Pastor Christopher Martin, Bishop, on a board appointment. He stood with her on a lie, and she could not and did not stand on a yes vote for him. She didn't vote for her own pastor. Not just that, he tried to portray it as something against Mayor Neely. Need to stop that. And I'm gonna go back to when Mayor Neely did not like Christopher Martin, because I was with Mayor Neely. He did not like him. And I don't know if I ever told you the day me and Mayor Neely were walking across from the mayor's office across to the water payment center where you pay your water bill. And Christopher Martin was coming in, Bishop Christopher Martin, because I don't have a friendship with him. And I don't. And let me throw this out before I get to, he can call me anytime he wants to talk. He can call me. Everybody in Flint know my number. You can call the counseling office and get my number and they'll connect you. Or it's online, my number. So me and Mayor Neely are walking across, and he walks up he's to our left. He's walking in the front door, and he says to Sheldon, Mayor, I don't have anything to do, with this. I'm going to help you move Flint forward. I need to talk with you. I'm not with Mayor Weaver anymore. I want to help you. What can we do? And I'm looking at, I said, what the hell? That's what I said. I said, what the hell? Because he had been such a strong adversary. And he said, man, you just see how they do. You just see how they do, don't you? See how they do. I never thought he would have at that so quickly jumped ships. I was shocked. So if he thinks that Mayor Neely, and I'll tell you something, it's a lot of things. Sheldon knew I wasn't going to support that. Mayor Neely knew, because I'm going to refer to him in his professional capacity. He knew that Bishop Christopher Martin wasn't going to be appointed. He knew that. He knew that, and he also knew a second appointment wasn't going to get appointed. What he does, because he's a politician, he can say, I sent it up, man, I don't know what happened, man. They just didn't want to do it. Man, I did all I could do. I did all I could do. And so Mayor Neely knew that was not going to get approved. He knew. He is not crazy. And I'm quite sure he slips and watches these without a doubt. He knew Christopher Martin was not going to be appointed. But he sent it up knowing. Because listen, they didn't even send it through committee. Normally, appointments go through committee. It missed committee and came on as a walk-on resolution. So he knew. He knew. And then for Liddell Lewis to not vote on her own pastor a yes, she did not give Bishop Martin her vote. Liddell Lewis did not give Bishop Martin her sympathy vote. And then she tries to blame it on city council. You are city council. Matter of fact, you are the president of city council. Liddell Lewis is the president of city council, and she didn't vote for her own pastor, Bishop Martin, to be on the board. She didn't. She didn't vote for him. She carries 5 votes. 5 votes, Mickey. And she didn't vote. Now, if your church member didn't vote, if your church member, Liddell Lewis, president of Flint City Council, did not vote for you, why should any of the rest of us? She sits in those church pews, and she is a member of your congregation. What are you teaching her to where she is not faithful or loyal to you? She has to believe she's a member in what you're preaching and what you are teaching. If your member Liddell Lewis don't believe in what you are preaching and teaching because she voted no, what do you think the rest of us are supposed to do? She voted no. But I'm gonna tell you now. This was really funny. Everybody, I don't care for Eva Worthing. I don't to put stock into disliking her. I think that Eva may be somewhat misguided. She never gave her and I an opportunity to ever cultivate a relationship because she came in disliking me for whatever reason. I think because of her candidate. And so I take what she says really with a grain of salt. But Eva was saying, what do you mean racist? And so I said, no, and because she said Bishop Christopher Martin called her racist. And she said, well, he called me a racist. And I'm like, well, I really agree with Christopher Martin on that because, Eva makes racist statements like calling Black people ghetto, a cult, amen, choir. She called me a gal last week. So Bishop Christopher Martin, I agree with you on that. But guess what? Liddell Lewis chose Eva Worthing over you, her pastor. She did. She's not going to break up her vote with her 5 people. Liddell Lewis needs Eva Worthing's vote. And she threw you out the window. She threw Christopher Martin underneath the bus. She threw him underneath the scooter. She threw him underneath the skateboard. She said, what I'm not going to do is support you, my bishop, my pastor who's still with me. I'm going to support Eva, who is called Black people a cult. She has said the Amen Choir, the Black people, the Amen Choir, referring to the Black church, trying to be funny, called me a gal, called Black people ghetto. And these are news articles that we have put up. And she's had to defend and said when she was called Black people ghetto, she stated that it was a knee-jerk reaction. So when you get mad, just make racist remarks, Eva Worthing. So when you get mad, you make remarks that you have to recant and apologize for. So when you get mad, you automatically talk about Black people. That's because that's in your heart. You saying what's in your heart when you do. Your knee-jerk reaction is what's in your heart. So Liddell Lewis stood with Eva Worthing because she was voting no. Eva was adamant. She was voting no. And Candace Mushat, Candace, you're not getting out of here unscathed because you voted no too. Don't give me that address crap. Y'all better stop that. And I told them, don't go there with me. I was not going to play the recording. Now, the young pastor he was speaking to, I know him. I know the young pastor, and he's a great pastor. Has nothing to do with retaliation. I look at when you're putting somebody on that board, and what type of board? Can they serve and be neutral and biased and impartial? We have a responsibility to put people on boards who can serve and do what's right. I just had a conversation with one of the council people. And when we talk about serving, and it was the same thing, we got to put people on these boards. I had a conversation with a mentor, a close associate of mine, about putting someone on the board. And you got to be careful what you put out there on social media. You cannot be a keyboard gangster warrior or a keyboard thug and think that you're going to be put on but you're not this in real life. You can't do that. Your words matter. They matter whether they are on social media or whether they're in person. Now, in person, I like the person. They're very engaging. But when you are in, social media, they turn into a whole alter ego. So I either put a name tag on that we know who gonna show up. You gotta know. I'm looking at you for what you've done, what I see. And so I also had people call me about another appointment. And here's the sad part is when I talked to each of the people who called me, they stated, I agree with you, Tonya, about another appointment, that this person is very engaging. But what they put out there on social media is not the same person. But this is a very nice person. I said, I like this person in person, but in social media land, they're a different person. You can't talk crazy. And don't talk crazy and come after me on my page and then expect me to be, I'm unbought. See, that's so when you are unbought, you owe nobody nothing. You can do what you want to do. You can say what you want to say. My decisions are my decisions. So that to me makes a difference. And each person that called me for that person agreed with me that this person, he puts out information and things that he should not do. And these are some of his friends who have said that, and they called me, they were reasonable. And we had a conversation. There was no disrespect. I said, I understand where you're coming from, but you got to be careful when you're putting out there. But I want to get back to Liddell Lewis. Liddell Lewis, you will not blame your voting no as president of Flint City Council for not voting for your pastor. Liddell Lewis's congregation should be outraged that she serves as a member of that church underneath the leadership and guidance of Bishop Christopher Martin. And she did not think enough, care enough to cast a yes vote for her own bishop, her pastor, who has done some great things in this community. He has. But if your church member doesn't vote for you, I don't go to your church. I don't. I went to your church maybe twice for some events that were there and you were rude, as a matter of fact. But she didn't vote for you. So she didn't think enough of you to even give you a sympathy vote. It takes 5 votes. I'm 1 vote. She didn't even give you 1 vote. The vote was 7-0. 0. Nobody voted for him. So Christopher Martin, you lied on me when you said I didn't talk to you. You're a liar. You lied and said that I didn't look you in the eye. You are at least 6'1", 6'2". You are a taller man. So I would know that because I was standing up there next to you, and when I said, hey, I said, hi, how are you? And I would say there wasn't no engagement. Hey, how are you? How do you like those lions? What do you think about them? No, there was no conversation. It was just a simple, hi, how are you? And that was it. And he's much taller than me. So, I'm not your height. And I spoke first as I was shopping in the ladies' dress department. And so were you. So stop the nonsense. You go check your member, Liddell Lewis, who voted no, because she got 5 votes. Why didn't she get the votes to make sure his Hurley board was passed? Why didn't Liddell Lewis vote yes? Even if he had 1 vote, it would have been her vote to say, I believe in my pastor. I believe in Bishop Christopher Martin. I'm going to vote yes for my pastor, Bishop Christopher Martin. Because you know what I would have did? I would have voted yes for my pastor. I'm going to tell you. I would have voted yes, yes, yes. Yes, that's my pastor. My pastor serves this community. I employ everyone else to vote yes, because he is all that in a bag of chips, a Coca-Cola, and a snickerdoodle bar. I would have voted yes for my pastor. But she voted no, and he stood with her. Okay, Mickey, we're going to get on enough of that. So y'all get the point. Liddell don't get to blame us for Christopher Martin not being on that board. She voted no her own pastor. So, Mickey, let's get to early voting. So, because I had not spoke out about that, not publicly, as he took 17 minutes and 48 seconds to talk about it. Early voting. Some of you will be getting in those voting cards this week. And y'all don't ask me about those. What ward you in? We are council people at large at this point. If your phone ring, pick it up and answer. How can I help? I am here to serve. Flint early voting begins February the 21st, where City Hall, 3rd floor, council member and council chambers. Check your mail, because people are getting in voter ID cards. So here, and lead us up, Mickey. So here's the lowdown on this. So we know the ward boundaries change, old map, new map. So where do you serve? Where do you vote? Those that have recall elections coming in, If it is on the ballot, you will be receiving another one, which will tell you where to vote for that election. This is what I am told by the clerk. Now, y'all know this is subject to change again, and again. So they're basically still waiting on something from the state. If whoever you voted for in 2021 will be serving you until 2026. But we are still told that we are supposed to serve the new ward boundaries too. So we are serving old map and new map. And our pay don't reflect that, but I'm here to serve. I serve anybody who call me. If you call me and you need some help, I'm picking up the phone. So Flint early voting begins February the 21st, where? City Hall, 3rd floor, council chambers, the very nice council chambers. Check your mail for your new voting card. People are receiving them. I know certain parts of my ward have been split up. I believe I posted about 4 weeks ago a sample of a Michigan voting card that will be in the mail. Make sure you save those because your precincts will change. I've been getting calls about precincts. Precincts are changing. Precincts went down from 54 down to 29. So your precinct may change. On that voting ID card will have your precinct and your ward. So you need to save those so where you need to go. And if you don't know where you are going, call the Flint City Clerk's office. Call the Flint City Clerk's office, or I don't have that number of Mickey because your girl tagged. So if you have questions, call the clerk's office. You can Google it. Okay. It is February, Mickey. Today's the 17th. It is Black History Month. Okay. We got a lot to cover. Listen, y'all, this will not be no 1 hour show. Matter of fact, ain't none of them. We into 33 minutes. It will not be a 1 hour show. So, Mickey, I love Black History facts. I post at least one a day. I've always celebrated Black history and with my children because I am a Black woman and proud of my melanated skin because we come in every shade, variety, color as a Black person. And you know what? Say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. That's how I was raised. That's how I've raised my children. So, Mickey, we are going to celebrate the achievements of something I did not even know. I just learned this one this week. I did not know. My Black History fact for my show today is that paramedics and EMTs was started by Pittsburgh Black people. Black people. In 1967, Pittsburgh inner city produced America's first EMT service, comprised solely of Black men and women recruited from the city's Hill District neighborhood. The paramedics of Freedom House Ambulance became trailblazers in providing pre-hospital care and CPR. Because we know that those moments when seconds and minutes matter, you want an EMT there. And this was started by Black people. Mickey, there is a short video that's on there that's underneath. And you got that one come up.
How long I'm finna get it for you?
Listen, y'all, this is so, because why? We know that hospitals would not even, Dr. Drew, he lost his life. I'm gonna give y'all a local one too. Dr. Drew, who invented, I believe it's plasma. He had to be taken to a different hospital, which was further away. They wouldn't take him at the White Hospital, and he died. He couldn't even get the blood, the invention that he made. And let me tell you else who didn't get the service that he needed. Dr. T. Wendell Williams was a doctor, which is Dr. Karen Weaver's father. He could not be seen at the White Hospital as he had went down south. So we talk about services and critical moments, and we've had Black doctors who had accomplishments in our community who could have benefited from an EMT service. We know that it takes a longer time for them to come to our community or to get service. So when minutes and seconds matter, the Black community recognized. We couldn't even go into regular hospitals. You know, I mean, and we are not too far. That was 1967. Mickey, I was born in 1968. This is in my lifetime, in my sister's lifetime, and my mama, my daddy, my grandparents' lifetime. So Black employees from the first ambulance service were purposely pushed out. When it became profitable, what they seen, because what used to happen is If there was an emergency, they would call the police. Police would come throw you into the police car and take you to the hospital. Black people invented this. Black people. So, Mickey, there is a video.
I'm ready when you're ready.
Listen, y'all, share these Black history facts. We have got some great accomplishments and I'm gonna pour positive things into our community. So, Mickey, play that video. We're not gonna play it all, and I'll hit you when to stop it.
Did you know that the first ever public ambulance system in the United States was staffed by Black men? Despite its success, it wasn't expanded and its Black employees were purposely pushed out. My name is Joel, the Medical Mythbuster, and welcome to episode 10 of Woke Black History. Let's talk about Freedom House, the first mobile emergency medical service that became a national model. In the 1960s, Pittsburgh was heavily segregated by race, and ambulance systems were privatized. At that time, police used to respond to medical calls. They would pick you up, throw you in the back of the car, and rush you to the hospital, but oftentimes they were slow to respond in Black communities. So Freedom House was started in 1967. It was staffed by mostly young Black men from inner city Pittsburgh. The program recruited otherwise unemployable individuals and retrained them as paramedics to then serve in their communities. In the first year, they responded to more than 5,800 calls and transported more than 4,600 patients. What made the Freedom House paramedics so effective was their compassion and their strong ties to their communities. But they faced racism from hospital staff and patients and discrimination by the city government. Freedom House became a national model. But after just 8 years, it was shut down by the mayor after he instituted a citywide ambulance system. Many of the Black paramedics were purposely excluded from working in the new system. Here's John Moon, a previous Freedom House employee, discussing what happened.
That was a systematic process designed to eliminate as many, if not all, of Freedom House's employees. The goal is, if you eliminate the people that made history, you essentially eliminate that history that they made. Roughly 75 to 85% of the people that came over from Freedom House was systematically eliminated.
Mickey, isn't that wonderful, y'all, to know that when it takes critical moments to save a life, and when the ambulance, and if Arthur Woodson is on here, I cannot say ambulance for some reason, and that is his word that he comes after me with. Ambulance service was created by Black people. I'm so proud. When critical moments in CPR, when we needed, they saw there was a need, and they created the EMT service in the Black community. Mickey, I'm so proud of our people. That is my Black history. That is my Black history, one of them. And if you want to see Black history facts, I post them on my page all the time. I love history, and I love especially our history. I love our history because it's something we weren't taught that in school. We were loosely taught about Dr. King, and we were basically taught to dislike Malcolm X. We didn't figure out until later that how old is the remarkable teachings of both of them. We were taught to love Dr. King and taught to dislike Malcolm X when I went to school. So, Mickey, we're gonna go.
Yes, ma'am.
We're gonna go into, so that is my Black history fact, and I post Black history facts every day on my page. So we're gonna now go into. I gotta pull it up. I was gonna and I'm gonna talk. Y'all been watching Fonnie Williams, right? District Attorney Fonnie Willis. I'm sorry, and Fonnie Willis daddy. Society always, and we talked about, Mickey, about Black men. Was it last week?
Mm-hmm.
We talked about emasculating, how they emasculate Black men, some people in some programs, and we talked about the role of a Black man, and we talked about how they always want to make them, like they buffoons, and they want to dress you up in a old wig and big floppy boobies, and a old house dress, and like that's the comedy. But when are they really portraying Black men as they are in the pillars of our life? And let me say this, I am a Black woman. From my experience, I have got two great fathers that sowed into me. And my stepfather was not a lesser man because he raised me. And so did my dad. I have got two relationships with two Black men who sowed and poured into me and told me what to accept, what not to accept, the color of my skin, And you know, my mother is my mother don't swear, y'all. She don't. My mother does not swear. So she don't at all. I do. And so my daddies do. In the temper, I have learned to temper my temper because I think my dad, when I would ride with him, I would say he had a little road rage. And I had to, like, y'all had to get underneath control. But I had Black men so into me and understand the difference that uh, Black women were much more than what their bodies were, or what, you know, a sexual object. That Black women were about they're intelligent, they're smart, and that don't let any man treat you, you know, any other way. I remember somebody had backed up into my dad's, a guy I was dating. He backed his car up into my dad's driveway, and he did those. He turned them wheels. He backed up and then like cocked the wheels. We never used the front door because y'all know how it is at the Black house. Don't nobody go in the living room. You don't sit in the living room. That room is to look in and clean up. You would dust and come right back out. That wasn't a room in my house that you went in and just chilled. My daddy flew out that front door. Don't you ever back your car up in my driveway like you pay bills in this house and turn your wheels. Don't you ever back it up. He got in that car and he turned around the right way. Black dads have sown into their black girls as little girls and have showed us. And so if you see generally, and I'm gonna say that my friends who have got close relationships with their dads, the dad's so into them. You don't need another man. I got you. You know, you do what you do. You got a daddy. They set that standard. Look, the daddy-daughter dances that you see, where the dads, you know, dance with the daughters and you know, the ballet and how it's grown. You know, Black dads are present in their kids' lives. Now, society and TV would have you to believe Black love does not exist. Black love does exist. It exists and it's real. And Fonnie Willis' daddy came and told the people, ha, 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 it's a Black thing. You would not understand. Black fathers share their experiences, and especially to their daughters. It's like a protective thing. I don't want you to go through what I went through. You know, Black men weren't allowed to be really heads of their households when they had to go to work and they could not do the things they need. They weren't respected in their job. So Fonnie Willis, who was the district attorney of Fulton County with the case against President Trump, she been on it. She came up there in her hot pink dress and said, let's get it on. She was about her business. What you won't do is get cute with Fonnie Willis. So the question is, she's a consenting adult. They, instead of them making the case about them trying to steal the election in Georgia, they tried to make it about her relationship, a consensual relationship. And was he paying for dinners or she paying for dinners? Come on now. And trips and what she was doing. That case has nothing to do about that woman's and that man's relationship. Nothing to do with it. As they tried to lie, and she called him, you're lying on me. And you have to confront liars in the place and the space that they present the lie. So the question came about when she said, look, I only had one man that paid for all my bills, and it was my daddy. Now, that Black man, which is her daddy, she stated, I don't know, he told me that I need to keep at least 6 months of cash. My daddy told me I need to make sure that I take care of my own thing. She said, I paid him back his money. So they questioned that her as a district attorney, Fonnie Willis, had enough cash in her house. So when her daddy gets on the stand, he clears it up and he gives the reason why she has cash in her house and what he instilled in her. Her dad was very clear about that. Her dad is an attorney. He has traveled abroad. He's lived abroad. I think he said he last lived in Johannesburg, South Africa. So when you get, they were coming at her with just crazy stuff. What they did to Fonnie Willis, they would have not done to any other person, and especially a white woman. it was demeaning. They were trying to paint her out to be something other than what she actually is. And then for some Black people to try to feed in that. She talked about she traveled. It was with his mother and his sisters. She talked about this. She was very open. She didn't have to be. But what she did was came there to defend her own honor. She came there to defend her own character because they were trying to destroy her character. They were trying. And she was lighting them up. Just lighting them up. So when it came to the money, and she said, my daddy told me to keep a cash box. As a matter of fact, my daddy gave me the first cash box and told me to have money. I don't keep money like my daddy told me. He told me to keep 6 months. I may have about 15,000 that I keep, but don't y'all tell him that I don't have 6 months of what he told me to do, because I don't. So her daddy got on the stage. Mickey, do we got it queued up for Finding Daddy?
Yep.
And this is a shout out to all Black men who love their Black daughters, who he stood in the gap to let everybody know. What you won't do is come for my baby Fonnie. You won't come for Fonnie, not today. Mickey, let's play it.
Or left the house that she owned. Did she say anything to you about having a large savings of cash?
Oh, no, no. See, maybe, excuse me, and Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a Black thing, okay? You know, I was trained, and most Black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash. And I trained, you always keep some cash, because I've been places, and just because of the color of my skin, for example, I took a fellowship at Harvard when my daughter was just, if I might, Your Honor, when I was just, she was just, maybe 3 years old. And I remember going to a restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and I had a American Express credit card and maybe a Visa or whatever. And I had a lot of what they call traveler's checks. I don't even know if they still have traveler's checks, but traveler's checks. And there was a sign said, with the credit card. For whatever reasons, the man would not take my American Express credit card. So I pulled out my Visa card, and he wouldn't take my Visa card. So then I pulled out my traveler's checks. He said, we don't take checks. Now, these were traveler's checks. This was money. I had a $10 bill. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he said, the bill for my wife at the time, Fonnie's mother, Fonnie, and myself was like $9.95. And I had a $10 bill. It was all that. I always remember that. But even before that, I've always kept cash, and I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always. For example, I had 3 safes in my house. I put some of my clients' stuff there too, things I didn't want other lawyers to be, because you're always in a firm, and I knew that there were special conditions. So some of my clients' things I would bring home, put them in the safe, but I've always kept safes. And as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her always keep some cash.
So is that a yes?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
That's all I got, Judge.
Mr. Durham.
No questions.
Mr. McDougald. Thank you. Mr. Rice.
No questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Gillen.
Okay. Mickey, we can stop it. Okay. I don't know who this is, and I'm on the YouTube side, and I'm looking at you. Thank y'all for tuning in. If you're on the Facebook side and you are on the Facebook or YouTube side, and whoever this JB person is, which is I don't know, and who and I'm reading the comments, and shout out to everybody in there. So I went in to say hello. But when we see, this is the problem. I don't know who JB is. Can't make excuses just because of her skin color. Get out of here. Stop. And JB, whoever you are, you're incorrect. It's not making an excuse. It has nothing to do with that. You don't question because I'm gonna tell you something. I was questioned as to buying a shirt. Me and Councilwoman Jerry Winfrey Carter. We were questioned about what Doug Matthews was buying and paying for a shirt that we couldn't afford a $20 shirt. He wanted to see a receipt. So when it comes to white people feeling comfortable to question what Black women do, as if I owe you an explanation for what I do. I didn't yell business. Get out of mine. Get out of mine. You know, and it is. I'm not dealing with that foolishness. Okay, so shout out to all the Black fathers out there, and shout out to the 2 Black men who raised me, which would be my dad, Kenneth Harrison, and my other dad, Arthur Port, who taught me who I was as a Black woman and how to love, how to respect. I respected, my dads, and having and cultivating close relationships with them, and we had something to look up and what to expect. Your dad sets the standard of what type of man that you're gonna put up with. And my dads were hard work, both worked at General Motors. Their dads worked at General Motors. As a matter of fact, both of my grandfathers. And so I knew where I came from. And they were making sure they knew where I was going on my path, also as a Black woman. So when they try to say, "Oh, you are an angry Black woman," no, I'm a Black woman who know what I want. I'm a Black woman who had Black women and Black men so into me. And I knew that in my family, my Black family, that they loved me. And that's the part that you got to have. I knew that I was loved. Fonnie Willis knows that she is loved. Her and her daddy shouldn't have been up on there. They had already submitted the paperwork. They were trying to humiliate that woman, trying to humiliate her. Her personal relationship had nothing to do. She had already disclosed it. They had already submitted it. The court had already did it. What they did was take an opportunity, and that judge allowed it, to try to drag a professional, educated, smart woman who is a boss. Okay? And it's okay to say that. What they won't do is try to make her this angry Black woman. No. And people are like, "Oh, look at her. She's arrogant." No. What she is confidence. Do not mistake her confidence for arrogance. Has nothing to do. That wouldn't have happened to anybody else. Wouldn't happen to a white woman. Not at all. So she has a right. That woman is smart. She works her butt off. Works her butt off. She stands for something. Her family has been threatened. She said she had to move 4 times. And then they're going to try to ask her where her daughter is located. I said, "What you won't do is get the location of my child." Now, why would they ask for where her child is at, knowing she getting death threat? Why would Trump's team ask for where her child was at, or try to make? Don't do that. Don't do that. The least protected person in this world is the Black woman, and now the Black family. So, Mickey, we are going to go on to, because it's a lot. We're almost at the hour, so no, we wasn't staying at no hour. So, and I know I had put up there what I want to talk about. I'm gonna put this up. Put up they act like relationships when these prosecutors and attorneys is uncommon. Put up the picture where we have Johnny Cochran. If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Which is right. The famous saying, "If it doesn't fit, you must quit." And then you have up there Marsha Clark and Christopher Darden. You see that picture?
I got him putting it up.
And that's the famous OJ case. The famous OJ case. There's Johnny Cochran, the late Johnny Cochran. If it doesn't fit, you must quit. Famous Black attorney. And Marsha Clark, she was a DA, and so was Christopher Darden. Listen, y'all, they were dating during this. Chris Darden and Marsha Clark were dating during the OJ case. They didn't try to drag this white woman. They did not. They were dating. And Christopher Darden has talked about it since then. But you get a Black woman in something, and they want to drag her, question what her father didn't taught her, question her money, try to put it out there about her father. What the Black community need to do is be protecting Fonnie Willis. Because it could be somebody, it could be anybody. Okay, Mickey, let's go on to, I'm dim little Fonnie. Let's go on to the EAB board meeting.
I got you. Hold on 1 second.
And I thought I put up the timestamp.
You said the EAB board meeting?
EAB board meeting.
Yeah, I don't even. Let me go back and find it.
Want me to resend it
I
to you?
got it. I got it. I got it.
Okay. And we're gonna go towards the end. And I
Okay, what you want me
timestamp.
to? Yeah.
I did not send you the timestamp. I thought I sent that to you. Okay. Oh, hold on. It's going to be at the 1 hour and 48.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been said that basically my coming out and speaking for my opinions when number one, Doug Matthews came and questioned me and Jerry Winfrey Carter that we had not paid for our shirts, and we did. When he said that my perfectly manicured fingernails, I pointed at him in his face, he lied. When he made the dog whistle, come here to me as if I'm a dog, and he said in the audience, they didn't throw him out of city council. When he called me snake bite and created a whole story with illustration, he made himself the white sheriff and put on a white hat and called my skin orange. Called me, said I wasn't black. He said that my color was orange. He made all these racist comments, and yes, I did call him a racist because it is. I am a black woman. Now, unless the United States of America on their documents have got another box for me to check, I'm black. Now, am I mixed with something? I mix with a lot of stuff. I don't even know everything that I mixed with, to be honest. But I checked the black box. So with his statements this week during the EAB board meeting at the end, each board member had time to speak, and William Harris made a statement. I didn't know that the statement was going to come out. I did not know. Doug has come to several meetings and made remarks about me. And Candace Mushat felt compelled to go and defend him. And in her defense of him, she said, I weaponized my color and my race, which is what Candace Mushat did. Matter of fact, Mickey, we need to put that back up before we play what William Harris said. Do you need me to resend that one to you? Because for her to make that statement, that was really,
send that back to me.
Send it back to you. You know, that was I'm gonna say it was disappointing, you know, because she made a statement and she said, if I had have known that he had said there was remark. You sit right next to me. What you mean if you had a known? I can see this one. And it wasn't no if you had a known. How did you not know? She sits right next to me. You know, there's no way she could not have known. As she defended Doug Matthews. She had no problem defending him. She came there to defend him. Is this when she walked out? I need before that one. There's quite a few that are in here, Paul. So I may have to go to because when you get black people who will do anything for a vote, and she number one decided to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna support Doug Matthews and how his racist treatment. I'm gonna support him, and she did. She came and defended him, and we can put. As soon as I get that little TikTok, that was in her own voice.
I got it.
You got it.
Yeah, I got it. I found it. I got you.
Okay, can you put that up, please, and play it? You can play it right away. So it's gonna take Mickey a minute to drum it up. As soon as you ain't got to give me the cue when I see it up, I will.
Shed light on some things that I feel have been happening unfairly or feels a bit retaliatory against a resident of my ward, Mr. Doug Matthews. There was a meeting that occurred in which there were some questionable decisions from one of my colleagues. And ever since that meeting, my colleague has taken it upon herself to, it feels like it's a retaliation. Residents should not fear for their safety coming to meetings. Residents should not be retaliating against. Residents should not be called names accused of things that they're not doing. We should not, and at the council, we use the word weaponize so often. So I want to say that colleague should not weaponize her position as a council person. She should not weaponize her race as a Black woman, and she should not weaponize her gender as a woman to create false narratives that could put people's lives in danger. I do call on my colleagues today to certainly maybe change course. There are a lot of things that are said about me that are not true, that I don't agree with, that I do not like. But what I cannot do is retaliate against members of this community, because they are still members of this community, regardless if we like what they're saying or how they're saying it. And keep in mind, if my colleague was disrespected, and especially in a way that attacked her race or her gender, I would absolutely stand up for that colleague. But we cannot, again, weaponize these things against people. And please believe that just because we are Black, it doesn't mean we can't weaponize the current social capital that we have, with everyone being aware that Black people need to be respected. I wholeheartedly believe that we are in a good place society-wise as far as Black people being able to have a voice. But what we don't want to do is take that voice and begin to marginalize other people in the way that we're marginalized, nor use that voice in a way that when there really is an issue, people will not believe us, because we've already used that in a way that it was like, well, that wasn't the issue there, so how do we believe you now? And so again, I'm just here on behalf of Doug Matthews today to say that I would ask this board to review our meetings, if you've not already, and take a look at some of the actions that have been done toward him by my colleague. And just really, I don't know, take the appropriate steps to maybe make some suggestions as to what happens when a council person is retaliating toward a member of the public because they did not like their point of view. Thank you.
Now I'm gonna say this. I don't care if she deems to be this. She's a lying ass. Number one, her colleague, my question financial. Why? Because I bought a shirt and I showed him my shirt. Wasn't questionable. So everything I buy, I'm supposed to go show this white man who created a whole story and wrote a story on me. She sounds like a fool. She's a foolish person. She don't represent the Black community, because if they willing to sell out like her that quick, shame on her. Shame on her. And she don't get upset. She'll lie. She'll lie. She does get upset because people come up there and she puts them out of those meetings and she warns them, and she weaponizes the police against the residents. She does it every week if she's cheering. When she's cheering, she don't want to listen to nothing but her own views. Nothing but her own views. She tries to, what you won't do is up in here. What you won't do. You need to understand Rule 27.2, which says you cannot become argumentative with the audience. And she does it every week. So the rules for her are not to be used. It's just only to be applied to other people. She supports this mess with Doug. Doug, number one. Doug steps to that podium every week to create a lie about me, except for last week he didn't show up because my family did show up and said, you know what? We tired of this. This is ridiculous about how this man is lying on you. And then you have Candace Mushat, Vice President of Flint City Council, appointed person to the 7th Ward, who is continuing this mess with him and supporting it. She's rubber stamping his mess. Why? She thinks if she supports Doug Matthews, she's going to get the white vote. Candace, what about the Black vote? What about the white vote that says we don't want a racist person to be in there? You know, does she deem that all white people are going to go along with Doug Matthews' views? They're not. They're not. And a lot of them are not. I've talked to several of them. They don't believe in his views. They see what he's doing. And you go defend this mess? What you did was lost some Black vote and some white vote, because the seat is to be impartial. But what they don't want is someone who's siding with someone who supports racism. He's a racist. He said my skin wasn't Black and put it in writing. I put it up, I don't know how many times, where he said with the baby doll, when we were talking about the Thurgood Marshall baby doll experiment, the Black is deemed to be the evil thing and white is always to be good. And what did Doug Matthews go and do? He wrote a story. And in the story, he said he was the white sheriff with white hair wearing a white hat. And he was sent to Flint it's the white man to clean up the city of Flint. And I was the villain. I'm a Black woman. He made me a villain and put a black hat on me and made me a snake. And she defended this garbage. She went there and defended this man, his views, and his garbage as a Black woman. What's wrong with her? What is wrong with that? Something's wrong with her. You go defend a racist. So I'm going to speak out for myself. Just like Fonnie Willis went to speak out against that mess that they did. I can't expect nobody else to defend me when I don't defend myself. I spoke about the EAB board on what my opinion. I didn't know at the time they'd already made the decision. Did not know. So William Harris made a comment at the board meeting. Mickey, can we get that back up? And then let's play his opinion. I mean, his comment, please.
I got you.
Because I didn't know he was, going to make that. I had no clue. I was watching just like everybody else.
You let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready.
In regards to all this issue, I don't know if anybody brought it up or not. In regards to the issue with Doug Matthews, he was not selected. I'm putting it out there.
Okay, we like her. She said, "Yeah."
He was not selected, and that transpired before Councilwoman Burns came and spoke. Nobody knew that we had already conducted interviews. Those interviews were conducted a long time ago. So I wanted to go on record by saying that, yeah, that decision was already made before her comment came out and everything else came out. So, and so I don't understand where all these comments are coming from with him in regards to that, because the investigation group, we had already concluded what we were going to do anyway. And no, he was not in that decision. And I would tell him that there's places he should know.
Views we had.
He watched 18. That's right. 18 News Media Group. Yep.
I just want to say thank you everybody for coming out.
Okay, Mickey. So there you have it. He didn't get the job because the EAB board didn't find him qualified for the position. Nobody even knew that they had actually did the interviews. I didn't know. So this was all new. So he didn't get that job on his own. We had nothing to do with that. I had nothing to do with that. He didn't get that job based on they didn't want him for the job. So if he want to be mad at the EAB board because they didn't like you. They did not find you qualified. So whatever he did in that interview, it was not to their satisfactory, and he blew it in his interview. Simple as that. Now here's another thing, because he supports Mayor Sheldon Neely. Mayor Neely keeps sending these people up there knowing they're not going to vote for them. Mayor Neely knew that board wasn't going to put him in. Mayor Neely knew that they wasn't going to put in Christopher Martin. Because why? He didn't call Eva to get that vote in. Eva wasn't voting for him. Eva wasn't voting for Christopher Martin. Judy didn't vote for him. Liddell didn't vote for her own pastor. Them 5 votes did not vote. Candace Mushat didn't vote for Christopher Martin. Bishop Christopher Martin. Mayor Neely keeps sending these people up knowing they ain't gonna get hired. Knowing. And he got enough votes on that city council, and he got enough votes on that EAB board of people who would vote for Doug Matthews. And they didn't vote for Doug Matthews. So Mayor Neely is playing them like a violin, because he's sending them up. Then he goes back and tells them, I don't know, they didn't vote for you. You know how this person. No, Mayor Neely knew. Mayor Neely knew that wasn't going to get appointed. That Doug wasn't going to get appointed to that board. He is playing Doug Matthews. He is playing him. It's like he played Bishop Christopher Martin. He playing him. He get them to do his dirty work. Then, and which is smart on his part. They doing his dirty work for him. And with a promise, I'm going to get you on this board. I want you to serve. Knowing they ain't going to get served on them, get put on them boards. Knowing it. Mayor Neely got 5 votes. Bishop Christopher Martin should have been appointed. His own church member didn't vote for him, Liddell Lewis. Doug Matthews, Mayor Neely didn't call in to get you put on that board because he's appointed with Frida. He appointed Trishelle Young Bowling. He didn't call because he's friends with Billy. William. I'm not gonna say another Billy. Everybody but Carol and Billy Dance, Carol McIntosh and Billy Dancer, and it's 11 people on that board. Mayor Neely didn't call people and tell them to vote for Doug Matthews. So if the other 9 had voted, he could have got it. Mayor Neely didn't call to have the people vote. Look, quit falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Doug Matthews and Bishop Christopher Martin. He ain't calling to get y'all appointed to them board, but he using y'all to do what he needs y'all to do. Each week, Doug comes after me. And Doug, he ain't calling people to get you on the board. You had not enough value for him to pick up that phone and say, hey, I need y'all to do me a favor. I need y'all to support Doug Matthews. I think he would be great for the city. He didn't do it. Mayor Neely didn't do it. Doug didn't get the position. So now he's upset at the EAB board. And it's just not going to happen. Yeah. So, Mickey, these people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to go to the video because
what video is that?
We're going to first put up Liddell Lewis's post because I need her to quit blaming the Flint City Council for what she did. She made a whole post about I don't think I sent that to you.
I'm looking for it right now.
I didn't send it to you. That is my bad. I'm gonna send it to you right now. She made a whole post trying to blame the Flint City Council. I needed to stop. So people are sending this stuff and putting this stuff out. And then after we're gonna talk about that police report at the Michigan State Police, because she swear she was threatened that she was going to be raped. And rape is a very serious accusation.
Mm-hmm.
So is filing a false police report. So she put, here we go. Flint's second ward, Liddell Lewis. This is Liddell Lewis. It is disheartening to witness my colleagues. I'm sorry, Mickey. Because she is ridiculous. This woman lies so much. Let me start this over. It is disheartening to witness my colleagues perpetuate a false narrative about Bishop Chris Martin. For decades, he has tirelessly worked to transform lives in the city of Flint. Like every American, Bishop Martin deserves the freedom to practice his religion and the opportunity to present the full truth pertaining to his matter. The clear attempt by some council members to manipulate public perception does not convey an accurate portrayal of Bishop Martin's true character. Contrary to misconceptions, he dedicates more time to his Northside church than to his Flint area home. He lives in Grand Blanc. What are they talking about? As an elected official who has faced threats to their life, I understand Bishop Martin's decision to refrain from using his main residence as the contact address on the Hurley Hospital resume. It's a necessary precaution to ensure the safety and security of his family while he continues to serve the city he loves. While it may deviate from the standard practice of council, I firmly stand in support of Bishop Martin and his capabilities to effectively serve on any board, including the Hurley Board. His commitment to the community and dedication to improving lives speaks volumes about his suitability for this role. Why she vote no? Come on. Why she vote no? This man, Bishop Martin, your pastor, stood with you when you... I was called a monkey. You weren't called no monkey. Stop that. He stood with you. And you didn't stand with your pastor. When your pastor needed you to stand with him on your vote, you could have voted yes and then said, I voted for my pastor. I voted for him. I support you. The rest of them. But you can't say you stood with your pastor and then you voted no. Liddell Lewis, you voted no. You voted no. You stood with Eva Worthing, who just called me a gal and put it in print. And I believe that we put it up on the last show. In times of controversy and difficult decisions, Pastor Bishop Martin, Liddell Lewis did not stand with you. She did not. Her vote was no. She had a no vote. She didn't stand with you. Mickey, let's cue the video up. Show she voted no.
Hold on 1 second. Let me
She ain't stand with her own pastor. Man, I would be embarrassed to go to church. I would have voted yes for my pastor. There is no way. I would be like, here's my pastor. I'm voting yes. Y'all don't have to vote yes because he's my pastor. She voted no. She voted like,
Did you send it to me?
I ain't sending that to you. I think.
Oh, I got it. Hold on. Yeah, I do. I got it. Hold on. You said at the hour, what's the time?
2:57. No, not that one. 2:57.
Yep, I got you.
Now she voted no. She gonna get that speech. With that, your vote showed us who you stood with. Bishop Christopher Martin, her vote did not stand with you. She voted no.
Let me get to it. Hold on.
Yeah, that just. Oh.
Here we go. All right, I'm finna play it.
I will not be supporting him in his racist, his homophobic views, because it's serious.
Here come Eva.
It's serious.
Eva, give me.
No one should have to at this point. And the other pastor is a young pastor, a great pastor. And he preached that hate from the pulpit. So I will not be supporting this appointment. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak to this resolution, the second round? Councilwoman, Morgan, you have the way we discuss things on this council, it's not normal. It's not normal to try to destroy other council people's character in every single vote that we have. I don't even believe in religion because there's many of you who say you believe in God and you are the most hateful people I've ever met. So let's talk about that. I mean, just the hatred that spews. Someone is very unhappy and God's not helping them be happy, let me tell you. Because if he was, you wouldn't say or do the things you do. So if we want to sit here and judge others for believing in God their way, we have got to look at ourselves then. And that is why religion is evil. And that is why Jesus himself said that religion is bad. Because look, here we are all the time trying to use God because he's on our side. And he was on Chris Martin's side, and all of you agree with him when he called me a racist when he was loving Karen Weaver. Now that he loves Neely, oh, you can't stand him. He's a bad man, but you loved him before. Politics are fickle, and being here for 6 years and seeing how disgusting you use God and religion and all of that for your votes, it's gross. It's gross. Just, you may want to, as you like to say, check yourself. Thank you.
Oh.
That's right.
All right, is there anyone else who would like to speak to this resolution in the second round? Is there anyone else? Dr. Lewis, you have the floor. Hold on 1 second. Audience, please. Thank you. Madam Clerk, are you ready to start the time? Dr. Lewis, you have the floor.
Thank you. So it is very unfortunate that we pick and choose, what we're going to, I guess, say and what we're going to support. When we start talking about, we're not going to stand with people, we're not going to stand with people. If you're going to be solid, be 100% solid, because for one, it is very disheartening to hear that my colleague is accusing this pastor of trying to start a race war when what popped all that off was the lack of apology for referring to your colleague as a monkey. And to this day, you still haven't had a resolution about it. There has been no resolve. So let's be clear, he had nothing to do with what you said and for your choices that you made. You made a decision, a conscious decision, to sit over there and to refer to me as a monkey when you were speaking. You did that.
I'm sorry. Please hold. Stop the time. 1 second. Ricardo, I didn't hear you. 1 second. Audience, I need you all to come to order, please. Ms. Ricardo, you have the floor.
Do you realize he did not call you a monkey?
Please continue. Madam Clerk, please start the time.
See, when people do things and they don't mean to do it, like if I step on your foot and I don't mean to do it, I'll say, my apologies, or I'm sorry. If he didn't mean what he said, he would have apologized and kept it moving. But the fact that we have so many people that don't like me, and I'm perfectly fine with that, but they want to give it a pass because it's me, that's okay. But you let that be said to anyone else who they quote unquote favor, it would have been a big problem. I'm fine with that. But right is wrong is wrong. Monkey see, monkey do.
Can we please, audience, stop yelling out?
Again, it has to be, we have to bring people to order because we can't even speak. If we were in a court, this is the municipal place where we are legislators, okay?
1 second, Dr. Lewis. Councilwoman Burns, what is your request for information?
It's the monkey. She said monkey see monkey. Who is the monkey?
Dr. Lewis, please proceed.
Thank you. And so, and then we have Ms. Beverly yelling out again. See, here's the deal.
Audience, please, that was not misleading. That was not, that's all it was.
I do apologize, but, okay, I do apologize.
Please go
But
ahead.
here's the deal. This is a municipal place where we make rules and laws. You all should have no less respect for these chambers than you do in the courtroom. If you are demanded, if the judge tells you to come to order, you will come to order. You will be escorted out by the bailiff. It is unfortunate that we have such level of police brutality.
Please stop the time. RL, please stop hollering out.
I would like to reclaim my time, please.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give her 20 seconds. All right, Dr. Lewis, proceed.
Thank you. And so, again, so when we say that someone is trying to incite a race war, only thing you need is this: a YouTube link or a seat in this chair to see exactly what happened. It can be fixed. We have to make it right again. It was unfortunate to hear my colleague was trying to make something racial again when the young lady came here and she was complaining that she has not heard from the councilman. And then when I pointed it out, it was.
Please, stop the time. What is your point of order, Councilwoman Burns?
First of all, she cannot speak to the motives of anyone. Robert's Rules 43.21. She can't speak to what the motives were. She doesn't know. She's incorrect.
I'm sorry, Councilwoman Burns, that's improper. I think you heard her incorrectly what she was saying. She was saying that, she was accused of saying something was racial. I think she was clearing up that.
She also brought about the lady that was here.
No, that's what she was clearing up.
She did, because she's blaming him. The lady is even in the.
No. I hear what you're saying, but if you would have heard what she said, and then when we talked about earlier, he said that, she said it was racial, and she's cleared up the fact that she never said it was racial. That's what's happening. Go ahead.
Thank you. And it's unfortunate when others speak, we let them speak, but as soon as I get the mic and point of information, that's okay. But the point is, I said nothing about things being racial. Now, but I will not stand here and allow individuals to attack Pastor Martin. And the reason why is because although he is my pastor, we don't agree with everything, all beliefs and etc. We don't. However, that does not demean Pastor Martin's character, his integrity, and how he feels about the community. So let's not demean people, because if that's the case, we need to check a lot of people that comes to that lecture. I'm not going to be messy and call them out, but let's not try to demean someone's character on one or two items. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. But I could not sit here and I'll be remiss to let people attack him for standing with me because of the quote-unquote monkey comment that went viral and that has yet to this day to be apologized for. And our Black leadership in this community let it go. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the very near future if he does not decide to side with them and see if they bring this up or turn the table. But again, an apology costs nothing if you didn't mean it.
All right. Is there anyone else who would like the floor in the second round on this resolution? Anyone else? Seeing as how there's no one else who would like the floor in the second round on this resolution.
Now watch her vote.
Take my time. So a couple of things are happening here. I do believe that there are people who take issue.
Megan, can we pass it to, can we skip up a little bit to the vote?
Pastor Martin has said in the past. I don't believe that that's what is occurring here. She said it was racial, and she's cleared up the fact, or because someone. And we're voting as to whether or not to send 240043, appointment to early board of hospital managers, Dr. Christopher E. Martin, to council. No.
No.
Ms. Worthing?
No.
Ms. Lewis?
No.
Mr. Murphy?
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
No.
Ms. Burns?
No.
The vote is 0 yes, 7 no.
Can you play that vote? Let's do it back one more time, Mickey.
That resolution has, or because someone took a stance on the word that came out of your mouth.
No.
Ms. Winfrey Carter?
If you didn't mean it.
Ms. Worthing?
Yes.
Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Oh, you went back too far.
Or because someone took a stance in the past for words that came out of your mouth.
No.
Oh, you gotta let probably that one with Candace that point, because I think it's right after.
People that comes to that lecture. I'm not going to be messy and call them out, but let's not if you didn't mean it.
Because of some other factors. But I just want us to be clear that residents do not need to feel like if they want to apply for boards, and this is not the first time this council has done this, that we are going to retaliate or hold them back or not allow them to serve in the community. At one point in time, we were all sitting somewhere hoping for an opportunity to serve and wanting to do this. And so let's always remember those mindsets. With that said, roll call, Madam Clerk. And we're voting as to whether or not to send 240043, appointment to early board of hospital managers, Dr. Christopher E. Martin, to council. No.
No.
Ms. Worthing?
No.
Ms. Lewis?
No.
Mr. Murphy?
No.
Ms. Priestley is not in. Ms. Winfrey Carter? No. Ms. Burns?
No.
The vote is 0 yes, 7 no. The
Okay,
vote
Nikki.
is 0 yes.
So here's the thing, Christopher Martin, and I'm not referring to him in Bishop because he went on his show and my decision was made for my elected seat. And he called me Tonya Burns. So Christopher Martin, I'm going to serve you what you were serving me, which was disrespect. Everybody voted no. He was a Candace Machat. I want to appreciate your support. And Liddell Lewis, I appreciate your support. The video shows they voted no for you too. Liddell Lewis voted no for her own pastor. Candace Machat voted no for Christopher Martin. They voted no. So was Liddell Lewis and Candace Machat not supporting Mayor Neely? Were they the Black people you were talking about? The Black council people? Your own church member, Liddell Lewis, voted no for you. Liddell Lewis voted no. That vote was 7-0. Judy had gotten up out of her seat. Councilman Mays was not there. So there were 7 left. All no. No, 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 no. Liddell Lewis, no. Candace Machat, no. They voted no. Your council member, who she gave this speech and deflected in her speech, talk about the great things about your pastor. She didn't. And her time to speak, she chose to address Councilman Pfeiffer. She chose to not stay germane to the topic. Liddell Lewis didn't stay germane. She used her time to go back and forth. She should have used her time to say how great her pastor was. And she didn't. She decided to go back and forth about things that had nothing to do with him getting the seat. List his accomplishments. List what he does. List that he works in the community. List how long he's been a pastor. List that he's served on the school board. She didn't say none of this stuff. What she did was choose her time to go back and forth with topics that weren't germane. Highlight your pastor during this time. She chose not to. She did not highlight her very own pastor and chose to not stay germane. And then she voted no. She wasn't trying to persuade her other colleagues to vote for him. She was wrapped up in herself. She didn't say how great he was. He serves this. His church is the mental health. He's with the crime people. He wants public. She didn't say anything about any of that. She chose her time to talk about and to argue with her colleagues. She was not using her time to persuade her colleagues to vote and why they should support voting yes for her bishop of her church, who mentors to her, who feeds into her. She didn't use her time for that. She deflected. And then she voted no. And she was not germane. And then when she made the comment, monkey see, monkey do, to taunt Councilman Pfeiffer. Monkey see, monkey do. Well, you're not offended by the monkey because you making the monkey comment now. Monkey see, monkey do. Liddell Lewis made that. Y'all heard it for yourselves. You heard it for yourself. Councilman Pfeiffer didn't call her monkey. He did not. He had 2 strokes. When you talk about when things will come out, things will come out. And I don't know who that's calling because y'all, that's my house phone. And so Nikki, I don't know who
in the show.
In the show what?
They calling you and they know you're doing the show.
Because I don't even know my house phone number. That's the funny part. I keep the house phone because everybody know my phone number. My phone will drop you in a minute.
For sure.
And my phone, people be like, hello, hello, hello. And my phone to be like, who is this? You know, Mickey's like, I was trying to call you, I couldn't pick up. Internet over here is suspect. Also, people be like, I ain't talking to you on your phone, Tonya Burns. I'm gonna come to your house and talk to you. But anyways, getting back to, she did not spend her time talking about how great her pastor was and listing his accomplishments, because that's what that time is for. I would have said my pastor has worked with the youth. My pastor has mentored. My pastor has served on different boards. My pastor worked on the board of education. I think he did for 8 years. She did not talk about the great things that her pastor did. She chose to pick fights with her colleagues and not stay germane, because she knew she wasn't voting for it because Eva was voting no. She didn't have 5 votes. So in times of difficulty, she stood with Eva and not her pastor. So Bishop Martin, don't blame me that your member didn't vote for you. You blame your member that is not following your teachings. She is loyal to her need of you. And when she don't no longer need you, she kicks you to the curb. And that's what she did. She didn't spend her time saying, hey, you know, Pastor Martin has done these things, and he has done some things in this community. I'm not going to take that away from him. He's not my pastor. I don't know Pastor Martin. I don't. But if this is his member and she not supporting him, that church should really question what her motives were. That's kind of crazy to me. So, Mickey, so as we were talking and our microphones aren't on, you know, and we were talking, and they going through all this stuff behind the scenes. I told them, I'm not going to let you, because the young pastor that he went against, I adore him. I think he's a great pastor. He deals with the youth, and I'm not going to put his name out there. But Pastor Martin, everybody knew who he was talking about. He preached from his pulpit against this pastor. So, Mickey, I sent you, because people saying, well, what did he say? Mickey, put the recording up, please. Mickey, listen, y'all, Mickey getting the recording up. Now, I told him, you know, my vote was not going to be a yes. I had told them that the whole time they're going through this, and then they coming up with all this crazy stuff. I said, I'm not going to let you put him out here. My vote is a no. And Eva was saying, one time me and Eva were actually agreeing that we agreed as a no vote, which you have a right to vote no. And I understood her reason. She's not going to appoint someone that has called her a name that she didn't agree with. I happen to, now I think Eva she makes racist remarks. She has made racist remarks. I don't even know if Eva's a racist to be. Yeah, her remarks are racist. Some of the stuff she does is just ridiculous. So let's play what he preached from his pulpit. It won't load up, Mick.
It's on.
Oh, we blocked from it. I can't hear it. Can they hear it? Are you sure?
Hello. Well, my bad, Tonya. I gotta bring it back. Hold on.
Okay, because I'm like
you. Okay. I'm trying to show you life, even if the people in the pews are so. You can't look. Y'all quit sitting here in church without the baptism in the Holy Ghost. Because if you got the Holy Ghost, you can tell that some of these preachers y'all listening to are gay. They just fired one from a church around here the other day. I said they should have never hired him. He's gay. They should have voted him out. He been gay. He was gay when they hired him. He was gay when y'all fired him. Went in there ripping TVs off the wall, having a little girl, a little tantrum. These folks gay. This ain't no time to be playing like this over the Lord's people. Sitting up under these folk who, look, a man pastoring you ought to be married to a woman. There ought to be a first lady somewhere. If not, he might have a first gentleman. We cannot have perversion over the people. Pastor, you mean? I'm not mean. I'm telling you, I'm trying to show you life. Even if the people in the pews are suffering or struggling with that spirit, pray them through. You ain't got no business up here dealing with it. How you gonna preach to them and you got it? We trying to get people out of what they in. We trying to love them out of what they in. If you in it, you can't love nobody out of it. You're gonna tell them to stay in it. And you're gonna let that spirit of perversion be all through the church. You can't, look, y'all quit sitting here in church without the baptism in the Holy Ghost. Because if you got the Holy Ghost, you can tell that some of these preachers y'all listening to are gay. They just fired one from a church around here the other day. I said they should have never hired him. He gay. They should have voted him out. He been gay. He was gay when they hired him. He was gay when y'all fired him.
Oh, Tonya, that's back to replay. You good.
Yeah. So here's the thing. He is entitled to his opinion as a pastor. And Bishop Martin is not the only clergy that has these same views. He's not. I have talked to other clergy, and these are their views. And I would not appoint them either. He is entitled. I'm not saying he's not entitled to feel the way he feels and how his interpretation of the Bible is. That's his interpretation. It just happens to not be mine. It's not mine. I'm going to stay out of people's bedrooms. It ain't none of my business. Whatever you're doing in your bedroom and your sexuality is not the business of Tonya Burns. Not at all. It is not my business. I'm not inquiring. I ain't peeping through your windows. It ain't my business. It's not my business. You love who you love. You love who you love. And I've seen people who it's not easy decision when they decide to come out and say, you know, I'm gay, or they didn't even call themselves homosexual. And I've had friends who said, you know, I'm a lesbian. I remember on my way to North Carolina where my son was driving. And by the way, me and my son don't do very well in the car because I think he tries to pay me back because we go south all the time. And as kids, you know, we would go to Atlanta, we would go to Tennessee every year because my family is from the South. And my family, again, is close. And we go to North Carolina. And so we were on our way to North Carolina, and one of my very, very good friends, and she had come to stay with us. And a matter of fact, she came to stay with us at a time and which it leads to why I take rape seriously. She had been raped, and my Aunt Muriel, I had called her. My mom was at home, and my Aunt Muriel was over to our house, and my Aunt Muriel, who lives in El Cucamonga, California now. My Aunt Muriel is that's a strong Black woman. And so we went over to get my friend in the middle of the night where she was, because she actually had been raped. And so I was on my way to, I was in high school. We were on our way to, me and my son were on our way to North Carolina, because I have two sisters that live in North Carolina. And my girlfriend called me and she said, hey, how far are you away? And I said, we're about, 2-3 hours away. She's like, okay, because I'm like, hey, I got to see you. I need to put my arms around you. And, and she's an engineer and she served her country. She was in the Navy. And so she said, I need to tell you something. I said, well, what's up? And she said, I want you to meet my partner. And I said, okay. She says, I need you to know that I'm gay. I said, okay. And she said, are you okay with it? I said, it's not about me. Are you okay with it? My friendship does not come with stipulations on it that who you love, what color dress you wear, what color shoes, what kind of car you drive. It don't come with what your credit score is. It don't come with any of that. It don't come with, if you married to somebody Latino, Black, Hispanic, Jewish. It don't come with if you are Muslim or you use the Holy Bible or the Quran. It don't come with that. If I'm your friend because I love you. I love you. But it hurt me that she could not tell me, her friend, that society has made her feel, and she served in the military and served her country in the Navy, and she couldn't tell me. She had to live, and then we were probably like, we became friends, close friends, because she ended up coming to stay with us while she went through therapy. She came to stay, with our family. And she never said, her entire life that she was gay. And I felt bad, and it hurt that she had to hold that inside. That's a tough thing because she couldn't be who she was. She couldn't live her life to who she was to society. That's why I don't judge. So when we put people on the boards, if you serve on the Hurley board, it is nothing that serves on an application when you admit into Hurley that you should say, if you gay or straight, you should not. And if you serve on that board, you got a right to serve. You have a right to serve, a responsibility to serve everybody. And those are very strong views that he has. And Pastor Martin does have a right to have his views.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't feel it's a good fit for that board for me. And that was my personal opinion. Because one, his own church member didn't vote for him. So she didn't vote for him. Why should the rest of us? I mean, she didn't vote for him. So why should the rest of us? And then that's my thing, but I want everybody to know people need to be able to live who they are in their own life. If you have those views, you're entitled to them. He's not the first pastor. He's not going to be the last that may have those views. If those are your views, I'm not here to change your mind, because at this stage and age, you're going to be who you are. And those are his views that he preaches to his congregation. And Liddell Lewis didn't vote for him. And I don't know if she didn't vote for him because she got friends who are gay. I know some of her gay friends. And she didn't vote for him. So I'm not even in the comments, Mickey, to see what's going on. But I don't know. And here's the thing, people say we're going to pray you out of it. I don't know. Has anybody ever seen anybody be prayed about being gay? I'm sorry. I haven't.
I mean, you know what? To each their own. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like when nobody do to each their own. It is what it is. I'm just hoping Black people get freedom. That's my.
What you said? We got other stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure Blacks get freedom, man. We still getting dragged. We
right.
getting dragged from not just from the streets, literally, but political lynchings now.
You got that right. You got that right. And they are political lynchings, and it's some things like you say, I'm not going to worry about. I'm not going to worry about what you're doing in your bedroom. Mm-hmm. It is not my business. If you a freaky freak, basic freak, or whatever it is you do, it ain't my business. Right. It ain't my business. And I think we spend too much time worrying about things that don't have anything to do with us. But I'm gonna tell you this. My friend, she served her country. Mm-hmm. She served her country. And she's an engineer. And I felt so bad that she felt that on my ride with my son, and she wanted to tell me before I saw her, because she knew I was going to meet the woman that she lives with. She thought she was going to disappoint my mother. Mm-hmm. She was so worried she was going to disappoint my mother because, she had lived with us and that my mother's heart would be broken. But let me tell you because my family is awesome. They showed her and her partner so much love because it's about love. You love who you love. And when I say in North Carolina, we had a good time, as we always do. Now that ride with my son, y'all, Mickey, my son be giving to me instructions. Don't talk on the cell phone. Don't touch the radio. You don't have no control over the radio. And can you cut your phones off? Because you got 3 phones and your phone's always ringing. I'm like, boy, shut up. He think he be my daddy. And he was all excited. Like, I'm going to drive you down there. I'm going to drive you. That drive, Mickey, somebody. Now, I ain't never had no marijuana edible, but they gave me one to take one. I never took it. It's probably a now and later now because I don't even know where it's at. I never took it. He was like rushing me because my thing was when we stopped to get gas, we not shopping. Y'all not chilling. We ain't hanging out. Look, get in, get in that bathroom line while we pumping gas. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I like to get to where I'm going. You know, I'm used to it. And I have always drive. Even with my husband, I would drive because my husband, he thought that the car was a police car. I'm like, get off that bumper. It's gonna be bad, but he was a terrible driver. Terrible driver. And he made me nervous driving. So I would always drive because I put on my music and I'm good to go. Put on my music and I'm good. But I hate the fact that I could hear it in her voice, her telling me, you know. And I have got I want people to live their best lives because, you know, and if you if it's your faith and you're saying it's sin, well, it's a sin greater than another sin? Is sin? You know, if they consider it to be sin, but I'm gonna stay out of people's life. Tonya Burns gonna stay in her lane, okay? I'm gonna stay in my lane. So, Mickey,
yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna get to now. You know, I woke up this morning. I ain't gonna tell you by who, but she watching. And I was kind of nervous because I sleep in the bed with my phones and my iPad and sometimes my laptop, finding, you know, the battery ain't wore down. Right. And so I get a call, Tonya Burns, because she called me by my first name and last name, which a lot of people do. That's why I was calling you by yours. Mickey.
For sure.
And so she calls me this morning and she's like, did you see social media? No, because look, social media had you out here acting crazy, upset, blood pressure high. But let's put up that police report.
You know, I already got it up. You put that up already. So listen, somebody please tell Attorney Kim this is how you redact information. Wow. You'll black it out. He did not redact that information that went out for the Ombudswoman Shacks the Little, but this is how you redact it. So Mickey, can you blow it up? Because I'm gonna try to read it from you. Well, yeah, they ain't gonna be problem. I'm gonna have to blow it up on mine. Let me grab my other one so I could. Okay, interview Liddell Lewis. Now this was put up by Eunice Jackson, and I had not seen it because y'all, I went to sleep. Every third Friday, I go get these shots, and I don't be trying to talk to nobody after them shots. I'm gonna tell you, nobody after them shots. I take a pain pill and put some ice on, and I'm done after I get them shots every third Friday. So it says, I interviewed Dr. Liddell Lewis inside her residence at the date. The interview was captured on my body-worn camera. This is the Michigan State Police. The following is a summary of that interview and not a verbatim account. Dr. Lewis said she is the vice president, interim president of the Flint City Council. Dr. Lewis said Liddell Lewis, received the above specific threatening message earlier today. Dr. Lewis said, whom she does not know, sent the message to her via Facebook Messenger. Dr. Lewis believes that the Facebook profile to be authentic, as redacted, has multiple pictures and personal identifying information linked to the specific account he used. It was a guy who sent her this to the above threat. Dr. Lewis said that she feels unsafe for herself and her family due to his threat. Dr. Lewis said there is a city council meeting later this week she is thinking about not attending due to her safety being threatened by
It's redacted. Dr. Lewis herself and other members of the Flint City Council have been receiving harassing texts and messages more frequently. We have been receiving them more frequently due to the increased popularity of fellow council member Eric Mays. That's not true. That's a lie. Via TikTok videos, Dr. Lewis said Mr. Mays' antics and outbursts portrayed in the TikTok videos have caused individuals to send harassing messages to her. She's a damn lie, because they think council members infighting and Mr. Mays' antics are funny and entertaining. No, she's a liar. We're gonna get into her lies. While interviewing Dr. Lewis, she read aloud from her phone multiple harassing messages she has received. None of the other harassing messages were from blank, nor did they include specific threats nor violence. Well, let's go back again. Nor did they include specific threats of violence. They did not include threats of violence, y'all. Dr. Lewis said the message feels different from the other messages due to how specific they are. Dr. Lewis also believes there is a fringe element who follows Mr. Mays' TikTok videos that she described as fanatics and have mental issues like Donald Trump. So she called them like Donald Trump people, Donald Trump followers. This smaller group of fanatics are what worries Dr. Lewis and makes her fear for her and her family's safety. Is that it, Mickey? So she blaming this on May.
Yeah, that was all of it right
Okay.
there.
So the Michigan State Trooper said basically there were no credible threats. Where this come from? And the person did not state they were going to rape her. The person had stated, I think, that they that he said he wait a minute.
You froze up for a second, Tonya.
Did we freeze up or
no? You I mean you good though. You pop right back in, just your screen froze.
Look, yeah, you know my internet bold. So so the person had said, can you put up the one Mickey where it states the picture with the purple and the whatever.
No, I got it. I'm putting it up right now. Hold up.
And this one is hard to read. So the person sent her.
I'm finna blow it up. Hold on 1 second before I put it up.
So it's really hard to read. So I don't know who this person is. This is what she submitted to the troopers. So we don't want you as our councilwoman. Better take your big ASS and big boobs and go back to Maryland. You effing, they call her a whore. You went after a good man on national television. You whatever and started this mess. You guys make me sick. I hate you guys. You are a terrible chair and a horrible human being. I hope someday you will get raped. Now that's terrible. He shouldn't have said that. And I hope you effing die. And don't show your face this week because I know where you stay at. You want war, BITCH. Well, you got it, BITCH. So, Mickey, I have been sending you some guy who keeps sending threats. And yes, threats should be taken seriously. This was investigated. But what she stated very clearly and from her council chair is that he said he was going to rape her. He stated he was going to rape her. She's been threatened with rape. He was going to rape her. And she has appealed to the community. Was this improper? Yeah. And this almost sounds like that same guy that was sending stuff, Mickey, to you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and you get people who, people, this is social media, but some people aren't balanced. And she should have taken it to, bless me, the Michigan State Police. It's serious, but she wasn't so serious about Doug making wanted posters of me. I mean, come on. Doug did a whole wanted poster for me. He made himself the white sheriff, like he gonna take me in. he didn't set up and let Mayor Sheldon Needle send him up there knowing he wasn't going to be the unbuzzed person.
810 Flint said, what's the name? I've been had blocked him, who been sending it. I've been blocked him. He been saying he's going to come shoot the studio or was going to do to me. Like, this dude is just a trip.
Yeah, and we know that he's off kilter. Now, do we get messages? I've gotten messages since council.
Yeah.
And they are not, and I've gotten some threatening ones. And that's why my family is taken serious. But a lot of my mess come from Liddell Lewis. She said it'd be lying. Just be lying. And she don't mind lying. Now, have we all gotten threats? Yes. Do my council members, and her big thing was he called me a handkerchief head Negro. You called yourself a handkerchief head Negro. You called yourself one. But she allowed Doug and them to come up and go, like I'm a dog, her and Candace, and those are two Black women. And they didn't check him. But she called herself a handkerchief head Negro. She didn't mind doing that. But what are some of the things, when she said he said he was going to rape her. He didn't say he would. He said he would. Yeah. And he shouldn't have said that.
Right.
He shouldn't have. It was inappropriate. It shouldn't have been said, but he did not say he was going to rape her. I don't know who the person is. And someone says, sounds like he's mentally ill and we should always alert the police. Absolutely, Daphne. Absolutely. But I think people look at these and from, if they have a mental health or have mental health issues, they view things very differently.
Mm-hmm.
And what I don't like about this is, and here's the thing, she shouldn't have blamed this on Mays. So who do I blame my threats on? People have to take responsibility. The fanatics, and this is not a Councilman Mays issue. Just like she said, number one, she's so hell-bent on making sure that this man, Councilman Mays, she want to blame everything. The monkey comment. She said that Councilman Pfeiffer called her monkey. Liddell lied about that. She lied. She did not. She said, give them the money about the chalet. We went a whole rant about the chalet, and as a matter of fact, they would call it chalet. They would have been calling it chalet. She said that this guy, she told us, he told me he was going to rape me. I was going to get raped by him. No, he did not say he was going to rape. That's not what you told the Michigan State Trooper.
Right.
He said he hoped she get. Those are two different things. Is it serious? Absolutely, it's serious.
Right.
She said that Jerry said she was going to slash the tires. That was a lie. Jerry didn't say she was going to slash Eva's tires. Eva shouldn't have parked in her spot. But Jerry said you may come back down and have 4 flat tires. She lied about that. And then she put it in a censure against Jerry. She put in a censure, and 5 of them foolish folks voted on a censure that lied. Then she told a lie about my censure. Did I call her a wench? No, I'm not going, first of all, if I'm going to call you a wench, I'm going to call you what I really want to call you. I'm not going to take what they use in the Bible. If I'm going to go to the gutter with you, I'm going to go to the gutter with you. And it would not have been a wench. Not at all. She said that the Black Lives Matter mural that you couldn't use. And she was stumbling when you play that video, just making up lies that you can't paint it. You can't. They said don't put it. It's going to cause accidents. Not true. The Department of Transportation actually said that if once murals are down, that it tends to slow up traffic. It slows up traffic, and that they use the same material that they use as the crosswalks. I brought on the show Mickey Joe Scapani, and Joe Scapani, if you listen, continue to get better, my love, who's now in Mexico, and he said that they told him how to prepare it and put it down, and they were the ones who suggested it. Black Lives Matter murals are all over the United States of America, where they are printed, are placed on the sidewalks, on street murals to support Black lives. And Cynthia Morgan Jared, will a trip to the 2 council people person going to Iowa happen? I don't know if it's going to happen. And tell Papa I said good morning. I'm waiting back on the paperwork. The city clerk said she did not support it. That she did not support it. So we're gonna see. I feel that is for their personal business. We should not be sending them to that. On the tax. If they want a vacation, pay for it themselves. She also said she didn't walk out on the Mitchell boys, and we saw that chair spun around so quick. All you could see was her Reeboks. She did walk out right at the voting for the special investigation for the Mitchell boys. She cussed out Pastor Thompson not once, but twice, called him a fake ass pastor, called him a bitch ass pastor. She did it not once, but twice. She cussed out Maurice Davis at Southwestern High School, called him a bitch. She did that. She sent the resolution for Cyrus Park to be paid $50,000. And when she first applied for it, she was the vice president of Flint City Council. Then when they found out about it, what she do? She took her name off and put someone else's name. She was the president of Cyrus Park and the vice president. She made sure she was paying herself the $50,000 that she originated in her own articles of incorporation. And I put it up there because the girl just be lying. Well, you got proof. I didn't put up your articles of corporation. Your name is Liddell Lewis, right? Right. So I just didn't put up, and she sent that up. We ain't put a shingle on the roof, but she making sure she get her 50 grand and said, I'm going to get my money. We going to get our money. She then went on to take a $1,500 check from Ashley Capital. And didn't disclose it. She took a $1,500 check from Ashley Capital to Cyrus Park, did not disclose it, which she is required to report that check. Then she turned around and voted to give Ashley Capital $3.5 million. She took a $1,500 check from Ashley Capital, did not disclose it, then turned around to vote to give Ashley Capital $3.5 million for the brownfield cleanup, and then voted to give them, hold on, y'all, a $72 million abatement, tax abatement. $72 million. She gave him a $3.5 million for the brownfield, and then a $72 million tax abatement. And they gave her, in lieu of that, a $1,500 check. If you're gonna get paid, girl, get paid better. I mean, come on. They bought you for $1,500. I need you to up your price, okay? Up your stock. She sold the city of Flint out for $3.5 million. No, for a $1,500 check. And what did she give them? She gave Ashley Capital her vote for a $72 million tax abatement and a $3.5 million brownfield that she voted to give them. And let's not forget food stamp gate and post stamp gate. Her neighbor next door is on recording. Trevor, I hope you're healing and getting better. Trevor's heard the recording. Where she had the food stamp deal, she brokered where you get $100 worth of food stamps for $50. And then she didn't pay the neighbor. And then she told the neighbor, she called the blight department on the neighbor. And that's in the record. Hey, we've talked about it and, you can FOIA it. She did that and sent the police over there. And still she went after the neighbor. So she got food stamp gate and postage stamp gate, where she put all those things in those mailboxes and didn't put any postage on them and stapled the FNU, Flint Neighborhood United newspaper to it. There was no postage put in there on the city envelope that she placed with the letter inside, where she said, if you don't start picking up your trash cans, y'all gonna start getting fined. That's what she said. So what does she do every week when she's cheering? And now she's trying to take the word and own it. She weaponizes the police against the residents. She does it all the time. She's also called the members, if you didn't vote, she said, you're janky. You're sipping on bottled water, you're janky. Your schools, it's janky. They're janky. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. You just can't make it up. She failed to support Pump Station 5, which was in her ward, when people had urine and feces in their basement. She failed to support that, not once, but two. What that resolution was going to do was allow residents to get help quicker, so it didn't have to go through the process to hold it up. It would allow our legal department to make a determination so we could take care of the residents. And those residents were in her ward. What did they do when they called her? She told them, I don't have a shop vac on my back. It ain't my fault I got two homes. Ain't my fault I got two homes. That's what Liddell Lewis said. And I don't have a shop vac on my back. In the meantime, people had urine, feces floating around because Pump Station number 5 had mechanical or breakdowns that it could not keep up with the amount of rain. And she said, I don't have a shop vac on my back. And ain't my fault I got 2 homes. And we talked about too that she said Councilman Mays called her mother F and B, and he did not. That was proven to be a lie because I talked about it on the floor in front of her and asked the camera reporters, the journalists, hey, she said it. They said, no, we did not hear that. So she made up a lie. She will make up a lie to try to make people right. Just like she tried to say her colleagues, what they said about Pastor Bishop Martin. You did, but it's what you didn't say about Bishop Martin. You didn't support your pastor. You didn't support him. So why should we support him? She did not support her pastor. So she don't get to blame him not being appointed on us. She get to own that all by herself. Put the blame right where it's at, squarely right on you, Liddell Lewis. It is squarely right on you. You didn't vote for your own pastor. What you will not do is blame Tonya Burns on that one. Absolutely not. You should have been highlighting your pastor and his accomplishments and saying how great he was. You should have been saying that he, served on the school board and how you felt his accomplishments were for that. You should have talked about how he's an educated man and how he's risen from pastor to bishop. Now, if I can talk about these things, because if he was my pastor and I'm underneath the teachings of Bishop Christopher Martin, Liddell Lewis, that's what I would have said. You were silent. Silent. When we should have been hearing this, we heard this. You were silent on your own pastor's appointment. You said nothing. So in the times of difficulty, Christopher Martin, you need to understand Liddell Lewis does not stand with you. Did not, and voted no to stand with you. So let's make sure we clear on that before you come for me next time. You better check your own parishioner, okay? Check Liddell Lewis, who was your member. You still with her on that monkey comment where she sat there and told those lies and he called her a monkey. But she didn't stand with you on getting appointed to a board because she didn't even give you the sympathy vote. She didn't give you the sympathy, which would have been her one vote to say, I stand with my pastor. The rest of y'all don't have to, but I'm going to stand with my pastor. I'm going to stand with my pastor. She didn't stand with her own pastor. So I'm going to tell y'all this. Mickey, anything in the comments that we need to talk about?
Not that I didn't see so far. I haven't seen nothing. So
here's the thing. A quick recap. First of all, donate. I don't know how many people even got on here. Donate $5 to 810 Cash App. $5. Help us to keep the truth out here. Help us keep the truth out here. $5 to 810 News Media Group. We need y'all help to keep us on, keep the lights on. Cash App, $. Mickey, put it up. $, 810 News Media Group. You can donate $5. We appreciate y'all help. So listen, as what Pastor Martin said, what did he say? It was $27. He wanted people to pay $27.
That's what I should have said. $27.99. Get on here. Yeah.
We need 81 people to pay $5 because it's we got over 200 people on. We need 81 people. $5 or higher. Okay. Cash App, 810 News Media Group. What did he say? I need 27 people to pay. What was the amount? I don't even know the amount.
He working.
He working. He is working. He is working. Well, so listen, if y'all
I got
can
one question for you, Tonya, for you.
Yes.
Now, with her crying wolf, what does she think that's gonna do for other people?
And I'm gonna tell you, Mickey, I don't even know if she even thought that far, and I'm gonna be honest with you. And I'm gonna tell you why I don't know if she thought that far, because rape is very serious, and she has said from her seat that he threatened to rape her, and she was threatened to be raped, and you diminish people. Rape is something serious. It's not something you ever forget about. You relive that trauma in your mind. It changes the way that you live. You don't live the same. Rape victims don't. And you have to do the work to get back to you. You're not ever really whole. And so for her to take this and to say that, she was threatened and, and he didn't say he was going to rape me. And she hurls that from her council seat. Rape victims, it changes the way that they feel. It changed the way that they move. I mean, it changes their entire life. And for her to say this, I don't even have words for her, because she's done so many egregious things. Was this person inappropriate? And it really looks like it was someone who has a mental health issue, but for her to say, he said he hoped, which was incorrect. He didn't say he was going to rape. And she knows the difference. Don't use, and she always uses a play on words. She is a master manipulator. She is a master manipulator. And she will twist words. And I made a post earlier underneath that. And I said, let's just say this. I feel something is wrong with Liddell Lewis. I do. Liddell Lewis voted no to approve her pastor, Christopher Martin, who stood by her with her lies. She was called a monkey. Then she turns around and said, monkey see, monkey do. It's the taunting. She decided to taunt the people. She decided during her Christopher Martin vote, when we were voting to approve Christopher Martin for the board, she went monkey see, monkey do. She decided to taunt him. And it's on video that she voted no for her beloved pastor that we put on the board. But Liddell is a master manipulator. She manipulates people's views. And people have been saying she got that. She's a likability expert. Let me say this. Don't you first have to be likable to be a likability expert? I'm just saying, Mickey. She doesn't have a lot of, in my opinion, redeemable or likable qualities. And her being I'm like, what is a likability expert? And when you look up likability expert, you get different definitions. It's like they were using to pick jurors. Are they more likably to favor our cause? I don't know. She's a likability expert. Now, for those who said her article with Monique, she did interview Monique, and it's on there that she did. I'm not going to take anything away from her, but I'm going to make her own the ridiculous stuff that she says. But she did interview, but she did not write the story. She interviewed her, but she did not write the story. And I believe I do have. So she's telling people she wrote the story, and that's not what happened in that. And it does state in that story, that she did. That she interviewed, but she did not write the story. And so, but we know that she likes to embellish, which she does quite often. She will embellish, but she did not, she didn't write the story. She's not the author of that story. She's not. And it's unfortunate. And I'm going to,
While you do that, I got one thing I want to do. This from this from a supporter of A10. It's a new business opening up. Nate Smokes and Vapes. The grand opening. It started yesterday, but they opened today. It's on Richfield Road, 2809.
It's on what? Say that again.
2809 Richfield Road, on the corner of Richfield and Western. It's called Nate Smokes and Vapes. A new business. They had their grand opening yesterday.
Okay. And congratulations to them opening up. Nate's
Vapes. Smokes and Vapes. Nate Smokes and Vapes.
Nick Smokes and Vapes. Nick Smokes and Vapes.
Yes.
So there's a new business open up, and they are on, you say, Richfield Road?
Yep, on the corner of Richfield and Western.
Well, listen, we support local business, especially if it's new business. So we do support local business. So thank you for putting that up there. Mickey, put up the yeah. So, and there it is for the, can we blow it up? And you will see right about there. And it states she is interviewed by Liddell Lewis. But she is, can you blow it probably a little more? Is that as much as it go?
Yeah.
Okay, interviewed by Dr. Liddell Lewis. Article by Chantel. So she is not the author of the article. So she did interview, but she is not the author. So she is stating that she was the author of it, and she is not the author. She is not the author. And so I think she likes to embellish. She likes to state things for which they are not. That is not uncommon for her to, uncommon for her to do. She does it all the time. Like I said, I ain't gonna lie for, and I ain't gonna lie on her, but I mean, I'm gonna put out there. But when that rape issue, there are people, rape victims who actually live through that trauma. It's serious, and that man did not say he was going to rape her. What he said was inappropriate. And you get some people who may suffer some mental health issues or go through something. But Councilman Mays is not the cause of that person sending that. He just simply is not the cause. But she wants to deflect and blame everything on one person as not to. She don't take blame for anything. I mean, she may have taken that as a play out of somebody's playbook that I know, who told me they was never wrong. And I said, well, what I won't do is you won't call me at 6 something in the morning and think I'm gonna take responsibility of what you did. You out your mind. What's not gonna happen, is that. And so I'm sending you this next picture. Now I'm gonna tell you, people, if you got a team, if your team don't support you, I'm gonna tell you, get a new team. Because how y'all gonna be on the same team and ain't no loyalty? Mick, I just sent you a picture, so I want you to put that picture up.
Got it.
So if your team members do not support you, you're gonna be playing for the same team, and they don't believe in you. So a solid team, trust me, we together. A solid team, we together. Now let's blow that team up. Mayor Sheldon Neely knew darn well Chris Martin wasn't gonna get appointed. He the first person who sold Christopher Martin out, because he didn't call for his 5 votes to say, I need this appointment to go through. Christopher Martin, Mayor Sheldon Neely is a politician, and you got politicked on this one. He's a politician, and you got politicked on this one. He ain't forgot all that stuff you used to say about him. Mayor Neely has not forgotten all the stuff you used to say about him. He ain't forgot that. He has not forgotten what you said about him. And it was consistent for 4 years. You said stuff about Mayor Neely. He ain't forgot that. So he number one, he didn't call to support you, to tell him to support you. He ain't forgot. Now, when you probably went back and he was like, man, I don't know. Man, I don't know why they didn't vote for you. Man, I don't know. Well, Mayor Neely ain't forgot. And he likes to seek retaliation and retribution. Now, to Candace over there, to the she's got the black shirt with the black and white stripes that are running down. She voted no. Candace Mushat voted no. And she's just by Christopher Martin's left shoulder. She voted no. She voted no for his appointment. Now, Liddell Lewis over there to the right by Cindy Neely, state rep, she voted no to support you for this position on the Hurley board. So 3 of your team members as not, they done left you in the dugout. They ain't even got you out on the field. They voted no. Matter of fact, they done traded you and you don't know. He up there telling us our team is solid. Mayor Neely does not forget things that are done, Christopher Martin. You went after that man for 4 years. For 4 years, you went after him. He is not getting ready to call it all good. He's not going to do that. That's just him. He's not going to do that. Number one, his first day or 2 weeks in, I remember him meeting with one of the sergeants, and he was saying he thought he was going to get his gun and badge taken. He thought he was. He seeks retribution. He met with Bern Ritter. Bern Ritter Devin Burnritter, Deputy Chief Burnritter, started singing like a bird. Well, I'm not, I'm with you now. And I'm sitting in this room, and it ain't but three of us. It's me, Mayor Neely, and it was Devin Burnritter. And he just didn't completely turn. And I'm like, am I seeing what I'm seeing? So the people didn't understand in politics, those people are with you for as long as they can benefit from you. When you're no longer in politics, a lot of them, you kick to the curb. Their loyalties go with what you can do. Their loyalty is conditional. Their loyalty is conditional. He got three people, Christopher Martin got three people whose loyalty is conditional. Liddell Lewis, which is his church member, her loyalty is conditional. It was on the condition she voted no because she didn't believe in her own pastor to be on that board. Candace Mushat, don't give me the address stuff because he could have come back and they could have altered and put the correct address if that was it or whatever. She voted no. Still vote. He wasn't going to get, they didn't have 5 votes because they knew that Eva wasn't going to vote. And Quincy has said to me, Tonya, I had never heard that recording before. So his team, 3 of his team members, we said they solid. You got somebody tell them you got some problems with your team. Your team is not supporting you if you supporting them. Their loyalty is not with you. It is to themselves. And I'm shocked, like I said, if your church member ain't supporting you and she voted no, I don't want nobody else coming for Tonya Burns on this because the church, because number one, she didn't vote for him. She didn't persuade us that we should. I could name more things that he's done in the community than she can. My one vote, I stood on I stood on business, on what I believed on. I can defend my vote. I can defend my decision. And I stated my choice and my decision. I stood on business on this one. But his team right here, man, you ain't gonna make it to the playoffs. Y'all ain't gonna make it out the dugout because your team is not with you. And if you thought Mayor Neely was going to appoint you to that board when you talked about him for 4 years, heck no. Listen, that would be like me asking Mayor Neely to appoint me to a board. And it don't happen. It was a better chance for me to get appointed to a board than for Christopher Martin to. He ain't appointing you to no board. Why? You showed him how you switch teams. You showed him how you would jump from political person to political person. He ain't gonna put nobody on there he can't trust. He don't trust you, Christopher Martin. He don't trust you. He's a politician. He's a seasoned politician. He didn't trust you. That's why you're not on that board. Mayor Neely got 5 votes to get his stuff through. And if he feels them 5 votes ain't gonna get it, he will call up everybody. He'll call Dennis. He'll call. I haven't met with him in a while, but it don't bother me meeting with him because I think he gets flustered with me. Them meetings don't, we in the meeting, we on first name basis. You call me Tonya, you Sheldon. That's it. You talk to me like that, I'm gonna talk to you like that. But when it comes to things that are for the city, I support the mayor if it is something that is for the city. He's the mayor. And if it's gonna benefit the residents, but Christopher Martin, your team ain't with you, bro. They showed you. So, Mickey, he gonna put on there, my team's solid. Man, that's like solid as some Swiss cheese. Solid as that iceberg that hit the Titanic. I mean, come on. Somebody tell him they not with you. They didn't vote for you. If my family and my friends didn't support me, I would not be highlighting, we solid over here. You are not solid. They showed you in front of everybody. It's on video. They are not with you. You dogged Mayor Neely for 4 years. He ain't voting for you.
Not that right there, and I don't want to cut what you're doing, but that right there, where I know some people are crazy. You cannot be beefing with somebody, then you automatically thinking that the y'all then was jerk. Because I was watching this show when he was on there with Dr. Weaver.
Oh, every week he was bringing the heat to
yeah, he was bringing the heat.
He was bringing the heat. He was bringing the heat to him. And I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know him. I just don't like some of the things that he has done. And it's just something about when you meet some people, you don't care for them. And me and Sheldon had many conversations about him. He knew I ain't like him. It wasn't nothing new. When Christopher Martin came over and was talking to Mayor Neely, I was like, I ain't messing with him. Well, I need you to sit on the meeting. No, I'm not doing that. No, you can fool with him. I'm not. And I did not sit on the meetings with him. Why? Because I did not like him. I wasn't going to pretend like, with him that I'm cool with him. No, you do them politics, Sheldon. I'm not. But then again, y'all, I stood on what I considered my principles. No. He met with him. I refused to go to the meeting. But then again, I told y'all I got fired every day because if I don't like you, I'm gonna tell you. I mean, I don't waver really back and forth. I don't do that. And Christopher Martin, your team don't like you. Now, your team is not gonna get you to the Super Bowl. Matter of fact, your team ain't gonna get you to be appointed to that early board. Your team abandoned you. And then you trying to blame it on everybody else? No.
Yeah, because I ain't see why nobody ain't say nothing about Eva Worthing, about Judy Priestley. You know what I'm saying? They voted no too, right?
They voted no. He received not one yes vote. He didn't receive not one yes vote. Nobody voted yes for him. That's why I said Liddell Lewis' vote would have been a sympathy vote because it would have been her supporting her pastor. If I'm underneath your teachings and you my pastor, I'm going to support you because I'm going to need you to be there for me. He didn't receive one vote. Not one vote. Not one vote. He goes, we solid over here. Man, that ain't what you want to put up. I mean, maybe you need to go revisit some things. And then he's going to try to put it on me. No. I told them, well, y'all can hit the mic. So look, y'all gonna stop this. I said, I'm not supporting him. That's my vote. And y'all can keep, don't try to portray him like he's, I'm not in agreement with this. And my view, and it's not, it has nothing to do with, because Liddell didn't say anything, but he did. His views on with the LGBTQ community did not support what a hospital that takes everybody. And I wasn't going to support that. So,
but they still have 5 votes.
They have 5 votes. Yeah. Mayor Neely got 5 votes. Mayor Neely, why didn't you tell them to send your 5 votes up? Mayor Sheldon Neely, why didn't you tell your 5 votes to support Christopher Martin? Because you do for everything else. Mayor Neely, why didn't you tell your 5 votes who put the same ones who paid for that $40 million to go into that general fund, them ARPA funds? Why didn't you call and tell them, I need y'all to vote to put Christopher Martin on that board? They put that $40 million ARPA into the general fund. Why didn't he call for his 5 votes? He didn't do it because he didn't want it. He didn't want it. Whenever something he want done, he get it done. He gets it done. He didn't want it done. So he should have put that back. We silent. Man, your team ain't with you. They are not with you. So, Mickey.
Yes, ma'am.
We're going to recap. We listed the list of, I want to say this for and people may know someone who has been raped. I take rape very seriously. And I've had, friends and, who have date rape and are, different forms. Rape is rape. But when a woman says no, no means no. But for her to say that he threatened to rape her and all this other stuff, and then listen to the trooper, or not reading the trooper's report, the actual trooper's report, he wore the body cam. And we need to request the body cam video because we can't. We need to see the body cam video. It's a very serious thing. They've heard a blame that somebody sent her this on Councilman Mays. No, she's looking any way to drag him down. And that's a dangerous person because she will lie and lie like the monkey thing. She will lie. She blamed the rape thing. And in this report on Councilman May, she is a liar. She blamed the monkey thing on Dennis Fife. He didn't call her no monkey. You were a liar. He was speaking to the issue. He never said, Liddell Lewis, you a monkey. He never said that. But her pastor stood up there with her when she said that lie. But she didn't stand with him on a yes vote for the board. She's a liar. She said I called her a wench. I never called her a wench. If I'm gonna go to the gutter with you, I'm gonna go to the gutter and call you what I want. I would have called her some other not so very nice name. The wench wouldn't have been one of them. Guaranteed it wouldn't have been. No, absolutely not. It would not have been. So she lied on the censure. She put stuff into the record and try to build a false case. She's not the author of that story. She didn't write that story. Courageous Woman. She interviewed, but she didn't write the story. She keep telling people she wrote that story. No, you interviewed the other person. I forget the name. She wrote that story. She said she didn't walk out on the Mitchell boys. She did walk out on the Mitchell boys. She took a $1,500 check from Ashley Capital and turned around and voted yes, but she should have abstained because there's a conflict of interest. She voted to give them $3.5 million, and she voted to give them a $72 million tax abatement. Adele Lewis is here for herself. She told her own residents who had poop in their basement, urine, 3 feet of water of sewage in their basement, that she didn't have a back on her back. And she didn't, it ain't her fault she got 2 homes, and voted no for the support on the pump station number 5 resolution to help her own residents. I mean, yeah, we can keep going. She voted on the Black Lives mural. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. So I'm gonna say this: when it comes to, I don't care if it's whose person that it is to be appointed on those boards, Christopher Martin, it is my decision. I won't put anybody on there on the board that I know has been a keyboard gangster, talk crazy on social media. I won't do it because those boards are serious. If you're on a citywide advisory, if you're on the Ethics and Accountability Board, if you are on the Human Relations Commission, if you're on the Planning and Zoning, I will not put someone who may be an engaging person in person, but be a keyboard gangster or a keyboard thug or a keyboard warrior. I won't do that. And y'all who called me about that last person who said, Tanya, you are correct. He does not. He's a nice person in person, but on social media, he's not the same person. I agree with you. See, I'm gonna quit coming for me because I'm gonna put on them boards. Them boards represent people who are gonna have real needs, very real needs. And I'm gonna make sure my pick is a well thought out pick, Mickey. So I'm gonna leave with Happy Black History Month, Mickey, and that I did the EMT service was started by some Black people in Pittsburgh. So say it loud. I'm Black and I'm proud. I'm so happy. Mickey, I started out sending to my friends, my son's best friend. He's now in medical school. Is going to be a doctor. And he worked as an EMT. And they're still friends. And he called me and he was like, oh, I like that. I didn't know that. And although he is white, I've always done, my kids' friends had to do Black History Month in my house. So my house would be full of kids of every color. They would be Middle Eastern, they would be Black, they would be white. And we would do Black History Weekend. But they would come to my house. They looked forward to it because Black history is America's history. I'm going to say it again. Black history is America's history. It is America's history. And I celebrate it, but I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm learning new facts myself. And that one I did not know. And then friends who Flint Fire Department who work near EMTs, which I still feel we should have ambulance service back in the city of Flint. I wish we had enough people to do it because they were on Johnny on the spot. We got faster service. It was something that, and every firefighter is a trained EMT at the city of Flint. Every single one. They have to pass. Every single one is a trained EMT. And I'm just so proud of that. And that was something that was started by Black people because we are an underserved population, and we're underserved in our communities. And they feel the need to the gap. But just like the numbers, making people laugh when I tell them, look, Black people, we played the numbers. My grandmama and them, they played the numbers. I had uncles who were number men. And when I was 6 years old, I had a number man because they played the numbers. And that was so what happened? They made the lottery. The lottery came from playing the numbers. My family my dad and them come from St. John. They come from St. John's, where it was like the little Tulsa. You had to meet market your doctor's office, your dental offices. You had your grocery stores. You had your drug stores. It was a Black community that was thriving within itself. And what eminent domain, went through and tore it down. So we talk about our history, and it's Black History Month. I celebrate Black history every single day because we are worthy. We have so many things to be celebrated. I have Black history facts on my page. So go on my page. I love to share them because, often we don't know where we came from to know where we're going. And we talk about critical race theory is very real. They want to erase our history. They want to erase our history. And they want to do it. Well, the man who started erasing it was starting at who don't want it is some of these racist Republicans. We look who built the White House. Slaves. They mapped out the streets of Washington, D.C. It was done by a Black man. I mean, and we could keep going in the inventions. Those are the ones we know about. Those are not the ones we know that they stole from us. They stole from Black people. So, Mickey, this has been good.
Yes, it has.
I don't know how long we've been on here.
2 hours and 30 minutes. Oh, my bad.
Listen, once y'all start sending me this stuff, I want everybody to have a Mickey, anything you want to say, and wherever y'all at. I don't know because ain't nobody put in the chat. I don't know if anyone is in the chat where you're from. So we get people from California. Hey, Cali, I was able to connect. Oh, that's Mercedes call. I had to send her to the voicemail because I was still on the show. I did. Sorry, Mercedes, but I was on the show. Still. Wherever you are from, we know we have people in California. I want people in North Carolina. Yeah, someone was a Sasquatch, Canada. Someone was in Canada. Christine, I would definitely share that Black history to my city face. Thank you, Pittsburgh. Listen, EMT started from y'all. Lynchburg, Virginia. Hey, Jeff Caitlin, how are you? I think he updated his photo because I be on people's pages, going through trying to catch up at night. Eddie Gray, Charlotte bound. Listen, I got to get to Charlotte real. I was supposed to go there end of January. Flint Township. Hey, Charlotte, you ain't been to council meeting. Mesquite, Texas, east of Dallas, Fort Worth. See, I know what DFW means. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Hey, Savon. Wherever y'all are from. Houston in the house. Hey, Keith. Keith be up at night too. He is a night hawk. Keith serves on the Flint City Council in Houston, Texas, and he came here. Very nice man. There's been some great connections. Keith, I hope you and your family are doing well. I got to get out to Houston. Oh, Salty Chef, Saskatchewan. That's what I say. Saskatchewan, Canada, Salty Chef. See, I don't even know where that's at. Hey, from Tennessee. And I done been from, I don't know what part of Tennessee Laquita is from, but my folks is all over Tennessee. Lumi, I know where you from. Lumi, check in. Hey, just checking in. He'll text me from Pompano Beach, Florida. And I think he will be here in March. But Lumi will call. He'll text, hey, just checking in to see how you're doing. And I appreciate those who go back one. I appreciate those who check in to make sure I'm okay. Because sometimes I am not okay, y'all. Thank you for checking in to make sure I am okay. Because sometimes I am not okay. And for those who out there who try to live that every day, you need to tell people some days I'm not good. And to look at some of the text messages or the calls or the inboxes, just to say, I want to make sure you're okay. I appreciate them. And thank you. Aunt Grandmother my grandmother owned a gas station store on Baker and North across from the park. Who is this? Is this what we doing? Because whoever said that, I'm going to tell y'all, we owned the house at 757 Baker Street, which was a store at the corner of Baker and North. It was a duplex my mother owned when her and my stepfather got married. Who was that person that put that up? Because we lived on Baker Street, 757. We played, and I think it was Oak Park all day long. I mean, and we knew everybody. Lived next door to the Mahans, and I think Marcus, or we called him Marky Mahan, he retired from the police department. Interesting. Avis from Miami, Florida. All right, Avis. So wherever y'all are from, Helen's word for Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Hey, Joseph. Wherever y'all are from, from South Jersey, Cash Williams. How you doing, Cash? Listen, I appreciate y'all, each and every one of you. If I didn't call out what city you from or what, listen, Saskatchewan, Canada, or what country you from. She's from Columbia, Tennessee. Okay, thank you, Laquita. She said she's from Columbia. You know, wherever, what country or what city or state you from, we didn't call it out. You know, I appreciate y'all's support. Thank you for tuning in. And listen, if you can donate to Cal, I keep telling you every week, Mickey, make a big banner so it go across the middle of the screen. The middle of the screen, Mickey. I tell them every week so people can have it. Every week. So that, look, y'all can donate $5. You know, let us keep the lights on. You know, Mickey gonna talk about something. It's my computer. We can always, not today because it's working. Well, I couldn't get on at first, y'all. My bad. I couldn't. But that's because my internet is bogus over here. So, anyways, Mickey, I'm gonna tell you thank you for working through this. And I know you probably saw she didn't send me all this stuff. We're gonna be in here for a day. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you, Mickey Jordan, who was the producer, my producer, that it is you I choose to be my producer because you do a great job. My workflow to move to get the information out. I appreciate you, who is a Black man, who is a Black father, and I appreciate Nikki and Mickey. Nikki and Mickey, because she is the Black woman that stands behind him. And during Black History Month, we will be celebrating not only our Black men, like Fonnie Willis, Daddy said, some things some people won't understand because it's a Black thing. It's a Black thing, she said, because we couldn't get, and that's going to be my last, we couldn't, I'm going to talk about this to take this back. I know we closing. When Fonnie Daddy said this, I mention this, we couldn't get into housing. We couldn't go to certain restaurants, banks. When we talk about why Black people keep money, it's everybody got somebody, an uncle or granddaddy, or if it's not them, who keep cash at home because we didn't trust banks. Banks wouldn't take our money. And then when it was the Depression, Black people can get their money out the bank. Those who did it or who had it in the banks. So Black people have not been able to trust the institution, the banking institution, and it goes back. Now, we were taught to have your own. We were taught to have our own. So many people don't trust that. Most people, they keep a cash and they keep a safe. They keep a safe. And don't come to my house. You ain't gonna find no safe in my house. That's not gonna happen. But older people, and we were taught to have your money, have a safe, you know, to make sure you have cash. And she's correct. Her father taught Fonnie Willis' father taught her what Black families have been taught. Every Black family has got a Black person in their family who is known to have money or to keep money, or if you need cash, or if there was an emergency. Every Black family has that. And that's just the way it is. It is a cultural thing that we were taught because of how the institution, how America treated its Black people. They didn't want our Black money. They didn't want us to live on their sides of town. They didn't want us to use their gas stations. They didn't want us to be in their hospitals. They did not want us to be in their stores to shop. They didn't. They didn't want our money as Black people and treated us badly. So Fonnie Daddy said it's a Black thing. You wouldn't understand. It's our culture. It's how racist America made us be, period. I want you to have a good weekend, what's left of it, Mickey Jordan. I know. My son, I made him goulash the other day, and he should be here to pick it up. I try to make sure as he travels up and down these highways and byways that God protects him and brings him back safe to his family. And his mama makes sure he got a home cooked meal. And this week he wanted goulash. So I made him goulash. So I want everybody to have a wonderfully blessed weekend. And what Winters be saying, tune into the morning bump because you know it's going to be good. And I'm going to be listening to this Monday morning bump. Tune into it. And she's going to be talking, you know, about this letter. And at 9 a.m. Monday through Friday, the morning bump, 9 to 11. And Winters has calling. Calling ain't going to be good next week.
Right.
It's going to be off the chain on the morning bump. It's going to be off the chain. So tune into the morning bump next Monday through Friday, every Monday through Friday, 9 to 11 a.m. We have Carol and Clack on Fridays, Sister Circle. And we have Trevor, our sent prayers up for you to get better, that you heal. I heard you got the tube out of you. I want you to get well so you can be back on with Trevor's rant. So listen, Mickey, I'm out of here.
Hold on, before we pull out, did anything happen to RL? I'm saying this.
The RL thing, let me tell you, nothing happened. I did go back to speak to the officers. Here's one of the things. RL is kind of like the beloved person, and we know he has some challenges. And so everybody takes RL home. Davina takes him home over the years. Jerry is taking him home. I've taken him home. May's taken him home. And so Mays normally takes him home. And for him, he has his normal things to see Mays in that seat. They've thrown RL off. RL went to put that picture board up there in front of May's seat. Liddell told him, take that RL, take that bullshit down. Take that bullshit down. And you will see me addressing her. I said, you told RL to take that bullshit down. And Liddell, she presents herself. She's a totally different person. I need her to put a name tag on so we know who's showing up. Is it Liddell Lewis, Councilwoman Lewis, Dr. Lewis, Liddell, whatever she calls herself, whatever, because you get a different person. So when he's not seeing Mays there, because Mays will be like RL, and RL will calm down. He's used to looking at, Mays and hearing Mays' voice. Mays is not there. The first ward is not being represented. They're not being represented in his absence. So when he picked up that chair, he wouldn't have done that. I don't think with Mays there. I don't. But the officers, I did go back and talk to them, and what they did state, and as I got out my seat to go talk to them, they said, no, we understand. We wouldn't have done anything to him, but he cannot pick up the chair. He picked it. He said he was joking, but Winter's moved. she was moving like she was on a NASCAR. She was quick. And her and the lady that works for, I'm not gonna mention her name, for the counseling office for our meetings, they both, 2 Black women got there lickety split. They were there. And so nothing happened to him. He can still go there. I spoke with the officers. They understand he has RL has special accommodations, and they knew that he wasn't going to hurt anybody. And so he's good. He's good to go.
Okay.
So nothing happened to RL. RL's community that surround him. I went and talked to the officers, and y'all see they sat back kind of like, they need to quit. They need to quit weaponizing the police. Officers. And then you got people on there saying, well, she shouldn't have kept talking. Not talking or to keep talking. Let somebody wrap up. Maurice Davis was good for letting people wrap up. Well, wrap up, Madam Mercer. He always, ain't no dead thing. You gotta stop. No, I would let people wrap up. It's up to the chair. But when you get these nasty chair people in here and cut you off, that's not the way to do good business. Them people wait all day to talk on garbage and who gonna put on what, and arguing with each other and misinterpretations of the rules. And you can't let somebody use a 10-second wrap up. Come on now, do better. So we out. I mean, anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. Well, I didn't have my coffee. My next thing is champagne. It's champagne. No, I got a meet. Listen, I got a meeting to go to. I wasn't gonna plan to do anything today, Mickey, after getting all them shots. Y'all don't understand. Them shots be knocking us sister out.
I understand.
Out. And I got yesterday 14 shots in my face. So, anyways, Mickey, I appreciate you, and I do, because these shows I could not do without you. And there's not any way I could do this without you. And how I flow through these shows, I appreciate you, and I appreciate Nikki, the strong Black woman who is behind you, supporting you. I would say behind every successful Black man is a woman. And you have a strong Black woman. Don't be making fun now.
No, but I'm just being sarcastic. No, I agree with you.
And she 10 toes down, holding you down. So, all right, Mickey, I am out of here. And to everybody who tuned in today, thank you. Click like and share. Click like and share. And I appreciate you, Mickey. And Sending love to everybody as we finish celebrating Black History Month, and enjoy your Saturday and the rest of your day. See y'all. Bye.
Peace.
Love, 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 love.